Microphone check 1 2. Did I scare you? Check, check, check. What's going on? What's going on? Let's get our screen up and running. 1 2 1 2. There we go. All right. I'm still setting up in here. What's going on? It's DJ TLM, the last Mohican. You're tuned in to the Share the Knowledge live stream, broadcasting live from Amsterdam City. I have a couple of things I want to check. I was working on some other stuff, so I did not have time to fully set up. I thought I had enough time, but there's still quite a few things I have to get in order. But the show must go on, so we're in here. Salute to all my people on Twitch, YouTube, Mixcloud, Periscope, Facebook, LinkedIn, not yet. Still working on it, but we're getting there. All right, let me reopen my restream in the back as well. Let's see what's going on here. All right, we are live on all the platforms I just mentioned. And let's see. Okay, I'm going to let that run just like that. I still have a couple of things I need to set up. I don't have my my overview angle. Not that we really need it, but I always feel it's pretty nice to be able to illustrate when I'm talking about my setup and stuff like that. I do want to change the gate setting on this microphone. Every time I speak, you hear that little bit of noise and then everything cuts out. It sounds a little bit too unnatural to me, but that's okay for now. All right, let's start with a little microphone check, by the way. I'm hearing myself pretty well. How's the volume over there? Did I pump it up a little bit more? Is my voice coming in clear? Because I don't want to have to reset everything here to hear what it sounds like on the computer. I have nice audio, but I'm listening on my headphones, so it might be totally different for you over there. So Amsterdam is in the building already. That's always good to see. We got El Nana. We got D-Boy 020. We got DJ Anomaly. Yes, yes, yes. Loud and clear. That's good to hear. Rob X. DJ named Vess. What's going on? All right. I might change this around a little bit, a couple times. I'm actually just having fun in the studio because I've been working on the new setup for a long time. And you've seen it in the live streams as well. With the vinyl wall that's finally back, messing around with different equipment, trying out different angles. Same thing applies to this, even though it's a Just Chat live stream. Let me make sure that is actually how it's set in Twitch, by the way. Twitch likes to play around with me and mess that up sometimes. No, that's perfectly fine. So I like to play around with that here as well a little bit with different angles. So I still have to fix my overhead. GoPro, I got to bring it down a bit. But for instance, now you can kind of get a glimpse of my little layer here from the back and see how that looks. This is my main workspace for working on video editing, working on the live streams. And as you can see, this is how I get to keep an eye on everything with that monitor on top. That is connected to my ATA Mini Pro, showing exactly what is on screen and all my other angles. Now, I have my computer connected as well, so I might open up something like Adobe Premiere in a minute and talk a little bit about that. So video editing, might get into that. FTR, what's going on? Hey. Oh yeah, gotta bring that back. I mean, I'm still doing the full video, but that's my baby right there. My first computer build. I have not got around to edit the videos that I shot about this, and I still have to do that. But I'm very happy with it. The only thing is I messed something up or something is wrong. Not during the build, but computer was working just fine. The only thing I had a problem with was my internet speed. And the download speed was fine, but the upload speed, that was an issue. That was a real problem. 1 second, by the way. I'm seeing a loading screen on Restream, but I'm seeing myself on Twitch. And it's working fine on Twitch as far as I can see. I don't know what's going on there. Okay, I'll let that run. So thanks for the follow, Big Roo. I see you. So here's the thing. My download speed was okay. My upload speed was terrible. Like absolutely terrible. Like, yeah, just not working at all. 0.6 MBs per second. So if I wanted to stream from my computer using something like OBS, then you need your computer to be able to upload, and that was not working. So after a lot of research, I found a few settings that I could change. And once I changed those settings, I had amazing upload speeds, like super, absolutely brilliant. The only thing is, like shortly after, I started to get random crashes on the computer. Now, I have not found anywhere online relation between the settings I changed and your computer crashing, but I'm not sure. It says it has to do with certain driver updates, but I'm updating everything I can, and I haven't seen anything happen there. So I don't know. All right, I'm also experimenting with Twitch. I tried some extensions, and those extensions, I don't know, they don't seem to be working. I wanted to see if these extensions would help me get some overlay action going on without using something like OBS on a computer. So first off, we should have been able to see the chat on screen. And yeah, I'm not seeing that at all. And what else is happening here? Let me check. Can I change something here? So I currently have my computer on. I'm going to bring that in later, but I have to change the setting to let you see that. I'm not seeing the overlays here, and I thought I would. So let's see, overlays and alerts for the stream without OBS. Yeah, build an extension. I already did that. So why am I not seeing it? Okay, it is what it is. I'll have to continue to work on that. See, it's an ongoing experiment working with the whole streaming thing. And I was talking about this with someone yesterday in the comments. Like, I started streaming again, started to do my live streams as a DJ. And even though I knew I was not really, quote unquote, ready, for instance, I had not done a lot of DJing in quite some time. So I'm rusty, and I still am, but it's getting better. And I did not have everything set up perfect, but there is no perfect. And the best way to get to a level that's like way beyond acceptable, a good level, you have to just start doing. So that's why I just started to do my mixed live streams. And every time I experience new things, and I will get better at it. Also, the back end of things, the technical side, and how Twitch works, get better at that. You only get better by doing. Same thing applies to this. I mean, this is a just chat live stream, so I don't have to worry about mixing. It's not as intensive with the switching between cameras as the mix stream is, but still, it takes some getting used to everything, keeping track of your streams, checking the different sources. But that's what you got to do. This is not something you can practice without actually doing it. Doing it live is the difference. So let me see, what does this say? Takes a minute to adjust to that. Let's see. I just built my first recently too. All right, cool. Yeah, it's building your own PC is a fulfilling thing because you actually have something in your studio that you built yourself. Now, to be honest, it's not that hard anymore. Most of these parts will only fit in one place, so it's not that hard to do it right. It's pretty easy. The only thing that's a little more complicated was making sure I connected all of the cables correctly to make sure that everything is working on everything that's connected to the motherboard is connected correctly, and cable management in the back. That's terrible. Mine is okay, but it could be better. So yes, that's an ongoing experiment as well, but at least I have a computer that's really fast when it comes to my video editing and stuff like that. Kelly Kell, thanks for the follow. I appreciate that. That's also something we should have been seeing on screen, and we're not seeing that. Or is that because I'm in my stream manager? Let me see if I can see it the same way you are seeing it. If I now just go to Twitch and just check myself out. Let me see real quick. What happens if I go to this here? Let me turn the volume off. Okay, so I see those same overlay things you're seeing, but not the right way. Okay. It is what it is. So it takes a minute to adjust to that. Might have to look at the same thing because sometimes I get old speeds. So yeah, now I'm not sure. It's two little settings I changed. I found it in a video from 2015, like some crazy random video. This guy explained it, and once I changed that, I went from like 0.5 or 0.6 MB per second upload to like 28 MBs per second upload. So that made all the difference in the world. And I was getting like great speeds on Wi-Fi, but not through the wired connection on the computer. So pretty weird. All right, let's see. Kelly Kel, thank you. I mean, I appreciate you saying that because I like doing it. I like helping people out, helping people hopefully become better DJs. And that's also a fulfilling thing, just hearing that people appreciate what I do. All right. The downside is if ish hits the fan, you're your own IT. Yeah, that's the thing. Like when I have an issue, I have to find how to fix it. And sometimes it is a pretty easy fix, and sometimes it can be really hard to do. DJ Schmurder, thanks for the follow. Addy Rampage, thanks for the follow. I'm glad I caught that now. So what are we talking about now? We were talking about building your own PC. I just showed the shot of the studio, and you can see the PC that I built. That's my new studio computer. And we were just talking about that. I mean, building your computer has become a lot easier, but it does bring a little bit of extra troubleshooting from time to time. But to be honest, if you buy a computer new from the store, a pre-built computer, and you have an issue, you're gonna have to figure that out yourself as well, or you're gonna have to spend a lot of time on the phone. Hopefully they can help you out, or you're gonna have to bring your computer back. I'd rather fix it yourself, fix it myself. So yeah. So that's what we were talking about. Now, I already have a couple of questions that came in through IG, so I'm bringing those out, and after that we can talk about a lot of different things as well. Let me just start with those questions, get the ball rolling. So the first thing I saw, let's open that up. I gotta fix that overhead too. Oh yeah, so the question was mastering the EQ. So the low, the mid, and high, and how to use them in transition, which is a good question because EQ is something that's not talked about as much as it probably should. But I'm not the crazy EQ guy when it comes to DJing. Let me just fix this. What I mean by that is in my line of DJing, so with the genres that I play, so mostly hip hop and R&B, our transitions a lot of times will be very fast, meaning most likely it's going to be an 8-bar transition compared to some genres where you can actually do 32-bar transitions easily with certain house music where you can have two songs play together for a long time and really turn it into a beautiful blend of the two songs because you have time. When you're doing an 8-bar transition, you don't really have a lot of time to work on a great blend where you're really trying to get the right parts of each song in there the right way. Let me refresh my Restream for a second. I want to see what's going on here. Why is Restream asking me if I'm ready to go live when we've been live for, I don't know, 15 minutes? Whatever. You're still on, so it's good. So for me personally, when it comes to my EQ, so if we're talking about the frequencies of music and we're talking about it when you look at the EQ on your mixer, you will most likely either have a high and a low knob, or you have a 3-band EQ and you will have high, mid, and low. Now there's even certain mixers out there that will take it up another notch and they will have high and they will have 2 different mid knobs, both taking on a different spectrum of the mids and then a low. And those allow you to manipulate the amount that you hear of that frequency. So for instance, if you take the low and you take it all the way out, so all the way down, you're not going to hear any of the low frequencies, so no bass. So the kick is going to lose all its power. If there's a bass line, you're not going to hear that bass line anymore. You might still hear the melodic side of the bass, but you're not going to feel any of that oomph anymore. And a lot of times the mids up to the highs is where the vocals will be and some of the instruments. And then you have the most high frequencies where you find hi-hats and stuff like that. If you're going to take two songs and you're going to blend them together and you leave both songs exactly as they are, you're going to end up with way too much of everything. Now, with some frequencies, that's not as bad. But for instance, the low end where the bass is, if you take the bass of one song and you have the bass of another song, you put them together and you have them playing at full volume on all frequencies, that's going to be a lot of bass in that track. Most likely the speakers won't like that. If they're not in the exact same key, they might clash a bit, which doesn't sound good either. So you want to find a nice balance. I'm pretty rough with my EQing. So most of the times my EQ will only take place in the low end, which is not the most difficult thing to do. And my philosophy is very simple. If I want the new track to have impact as soon as I bring it in, that track will come in with the normal bass. And as soon as I bring it in, I take out all the low end of the track that was already playing. That way, when I bring my new track in, you're hearing the full power of that new track because you're hearing it with that low end in there. If I want the subtle mix and I want to bring it in more slowly, I bring it in, but I leave all the low out of that one. So the song that was already playing is still playing with all its frequencies, but now you're hearing the mids and highs of the new song. So you hear it, but it's not going to overtake everything. And then during my 8-bar transition, I will either slowly start to add bass and take bass out of the other one, or after the first 4 bars of that hook, I bring that bass in and take that other one out just in one quick twist. That's probably 90 to 95% of my transitions are just like that. It doesn't happen often that I'm doing too much to the other frequencies. The only time when I will do that is if I'm bringing in a song and I know that it's a pretty muddy song. So what I mean by that is it's kind of missing a little bit of that mid and high. It sounds muffled. It needs a little bit extra in the highs and mids to compete with the song that's already playing, because the song that's playing is nice and crisp. If you bring in a new song and it's missing that, then not going to sound right for your audience. So that's just an EQ adjustment to make sure my new track has a similar type of sound as the track that was already playing. So that is something I might do to it. Yeah, kind of like a bass swap. That's basically what I'm doing. That's basically what I'm doing most of the times. I could see if I can actually just bring up my my stream. Can I do that? Where do I have that now? What? I'm gonna open a window and I'm gonna quickly download my my stream from Monday, so we can take a look at a couple of those transitions, and you're gonna see me do that a lot of the times when I bring it in. You can see me bring it in, and a lot of times you'll see me, as soon as I bring it in, reach for the EQ of the track that was already playing and take the bass out. That's what's going to happen at times. All right, so let me see. I want to my recordings real quick, and I want November. Where is it? What was Monday? 9, right? Yeah, there it is, 9. All right, download. That's the cool thing about using Restream, the paid account. I don't know if the free account does it, but with Restream, that's the service I use for the streaming. They automatically download your live stream. Now, I record my live stream here on a hard drive. It's probably better quality than this one in the cloud, but that hard drive is now connected and is recording this live stream that I'm doing now. So I can't use that one. So now I can still download my live stream. So, okay, that's downloading right now. That's working. And we'll see what happens there. Still kind of bugging that the overlay thing is not working. I mean, I have the thing in the screen, You guys see that that little box on the right where you see Prime subscription, loot reminder, and the Amazon Blacksmith sync? Can you see that? DJ Sarif, what's going on? Salute, man. Let me know if you can see that on screen, on the right side, or if I'm the only one who can actually see that. I don't know, because I'm on Twitch, but I'm logged in, so I guess I can see more than what you can see. And when I look at the overlay settings, I'm at the settings right now. No, that's not working either. Okay. I tried, man. I tried. It's not working. Whatever. It's not the most important thing. Okay, left side or something. Yeah, that little bubble, right? I don't know why that chat thing is not working either. That should be in the overlay expert. I'll take a look at it the next time. All right, let me see what I missed. I think there was something else about the computer. Let me get to that first before we miss it. So with studio use, I guess you picked Intel over AMD. Oh, okay, no. I definitely went with an AMD system. And I had heard a couple of things about AMD and that there could be issues with certain plugins. I've not run into any of those issues. And just when I looked at price to performance, there was no way that Intel was going to beat AMD. And if you look at what's currently happening, Intel's getting a whooping right now, like ridiculous with the newest CPUs that just came out. Pretty crazy. But no, I went the AMD route. I can give you full specs in a little bit later on. All right, let me see. Eddie Rampage, salute to you. Yes. Interesting. I had presumed Intel because a lot of DJ software only lists minimum specs for Intel. No, I've not really seen that. And I think I have all DJ software installed on this computer as well and working. AMD had issues with MIDI, but I don't know if that's still really happening. I mean, even if it is, you can expect that to get less and less because AMD is really back in business with their latest couple of generations of CPUs. A lot of people are using AMD systems, so I can only imagine that a lot of the software brands will see that it's probably in their best interest to change and use that too, or at least make sure that it works with AMD as well. All right, let's get back down. All right, it's not appearing on the screen. Okay. Uncle Jess, thanks for the follow. Who else is in there? I see I missed somebody. So, yeah, Eddie, thanks for the follow. I saw you. Menes del Corazon, thanks for the follow. All right. Yeah, I saw the Apple announcement as well with their M1 chips. It's crazy. Like, a lot of times that will happen, that everyone depends on one brand, and at a certain point, the other brands start to do stuff for themselves. T Diesel, what's going on? I see you, man. What's up, Bobby? What's good? What's good? Pioneer DJ does list AMD as not compatible with Rekordbox. Oh, okay. I have Rekordbox on here, and that was running last time I checked. Or am I crazy? I'm opening it right now. Let me see if I'm crazy or not. All right, but let's take it back to what we were talking about, the EQ, because I kind of digress going back and forth. Let me try. That's something I'm also learning with the live streams. When I'm recording a podcast, I can just talk about a topic and I'll talk about that topic. Now with a live chat, my eye will catch something or see that I missed something and I'm going back and forth. Now, if you stick around, you will still get all of the things I say, but let me try to stay more on topic. Philly B, what's going on? Same with that, like the interaction. I love the interaction because I know that you're actually there watching. So I want to make sure that I don't miss anyone. But then again, every time you start talking, yeah, you might lose track of what you're saying. So just real quick before I get back to the EQ, I have Rekordbox open right now. And let me see if I can show. Bang. So I have Rekordbox open right now. It's actually telling me that there's a new update. I haven't opened Rekordbox on here in a while. So that is on my AMD system, and that is working just fine for me. So yeah, it seems to work here. I don't have that issue. All right, let me get my my screen back. So no, close. We're not going to update record box now. Later. Close. So that's the thing with EQ. If you're playing a lot of house music and you have the option to make longer transitions, that is the perfect time to actually really take a look at two songs that you have playing. And for instance, if one song has vocals in there and the other doesn't, I mean, that's the best blend you can get, of course. If they both have vocals, it might clash. Or if they don't have vocals, it doesn't really apply. But if one has vocals, for instance, you want to make sure that the frequencies for the vocal are for that track. So you might want to take a little bit of the mid and highs out of the other one and leave the room for the vocals on one track. I mean, you can really have fun. You might not take all of the bass out of a track, but you might take it a quarter down. And with the other one, also take it a quarter down. So now they share that space. Or you take out half and then you add a little bit extra on the other one. I mean, there's things you can do to still get that perfect blend, but that takes time. That's not something you're going to do within 8 bars of transition. Within my 8 bars of transition, I'm bringing the new track in. I got to use my ear to make sure that they're playing in sync, and otherwise I might have to adjust. So I'm not taking the time to carefully, like, really work on that craft of EQing, add a little bit of high on that one, take a little bit of high out of that one, leave a little bit more mid on that one, take it out of that one. I don't have time for that, but that is something you could actually do. And if you have 2 songs, you're going to take a look at what is the part of this song that I really want to bring forward, what's the part of that song, and then you got to use the EQ accordingly. So that's a cool thing to do if you play music that allows you to do that. The only way I could kind of do that is actually if I start blending instrumentals. So if I take the time to just play instrumentals, then I can have fun with it. Play 2 instrumentals, and then it would get boring. If I would take 2 instrumentals and just take the bass out of one and let them play together, where's the fun in that? Then you want to start doing extra things, and yeah, I might have to do that one day. DJ one what? Oh, DJ on the 1s and 2s. My bad. Salute. Thanks for the follow. So yeah, man, that's it. Then we got Lava. Thanks for the follow. Lava 5504. Yes, I had the S11 here 2 weeks ago. You can still find that episode here on Twitch or on YouTube. And I had it for a week. I used it for one of my live streams, and I used it at 3 live events on one day. So performing with Brainpower. That was actually the first time using it. I took it to the gig, opened the box there. That was my first time using it. Now, it wasn't that difficult because there's a lot of the S9 in there, so it's really familiar to me. I really like it. But I had it for 1 week. Then it had to go to another DJ who also got to test it. But I am getting it back for an extended period of time so I can do more testing, more playing, having fun, because there's a lot of features on there that it did not have a chance to fully explore. And then I can do like a full video. Now, of course, there's already videos out, but I always like to do my own videos as well. So, so yeah, I'm looking forward to getting the S11 back in here because it's a beast. It is really a beast. Paul Lopez, thanks for the follow. What was that? I saw something about AMD as well. Also that the cost performance comparison. Yeah, that's it for me with AMD. Like anytime I want to buy something, I'll do a lot of research, especially if I'm not too familiar with that particular product. So in this case, computers, look, I've been using computers for a very long time. I've used a lot of Windows computers. I've used Apple products, and I've played around with computers. I've done a lot of troubleshooting over the years, always try to solve things myself. I've opened up old computers, messed around with them a little bit. Also, definitely broke some stuff. But yeah, I make sure I go check a lot of online material. So I find channels online on YouTube, for instance, that offer good information. and I start to take a look at a lot of videos. So I try to find credible sources, but I start to look at a lot of videos. And once you watch like 10 or 20 videos, you'll run into some sort of a general consensus on the topic. So if you've seen enough videos where you hear people talk about the fact that AMD was not that good for a while, and I knew that, like, if you were going to buy a Windows computer, you were looking for Intel. And if you did not have enough money, then you were looking at some AMD stuff. It was not up to par. Then I start to see a lot of videos, and it became pretty clear that the newer AMD GPUs were getting better and better and better, offering a lot of performance. Now, when it came to certain things like single core processing, and just for instance, for gaming, they were still telling you like Intel is the way to go, but it was getting better and better. Now, like I said, with the newer ones that were just announced, they actually just overtook Intel on all levels, like ridiculous. But you start to look around, and I found that this would definitely work for me, and it has worked. Let's see, Daza, thanks for the bits. I really appreciate that. And thanks. See, here we go again with these names, man. Here we go again with the names. How am I supposed to pronounce something like that when we got a VXMXN and that X is probably going to mean another letter? My son did that to me yesterday. He wanted to change the SoundCloud name again, and he told me the name, but instead of using a U, he was going to use a V. Like, all right, okay. But anyways, thanks for the follow. Let's see. Sync. Okay, sync button versus music selection. What's your priority? That's not a priority question for me because I don't use sync. So in that case, there's no, I don't even have to think about those two things. But if we're talking about music selection versus your mixing, and if that's mixing by ear or mixing using sync, whatever the case may be, music selection is the first priority. Always. Always. It's Vernon. Okay, Vernon, I got you. Oh, it's an R, and I didn't see that. From here, it looked like an M. I need to change the resolution on the screen. I got everything really small. So, Vernon, thanks for the follow, yo. So like I said, music selection is the most important thing. Always. You could be, I'll get back to you. Like, it's mixing using sync. But you could be the most technically skilled DJ. Like, your mixes are the greatest mixes ever. You make no mistakes. Everything is flawless. It doesn't happen, but let's just say it is. Everything is flawless and whatnot. If your song selection is not up to par, it's still not going to be a great party. Simple as that. You have to read your crowd, know who you have in front of you, and know what will work to play for them. And I've seen people play that would not even be labeled as DJs if you take a look at what they could and couldn't do, but they were grabbing the right songs. And that was a great party. Every track was a hit. Not a hit as popular song, but a hit with that crowd. So he was grabbing exactly the right songs for that crowd. That was way more important than any mixing skills whatsoever. Now, a little caveat. If the mixing skills are not there, and this DJ was pretty smart with that, he wasn't mixing. He was just bringing those new tracks in on a one. If you can't mix, but you're attempting to mix, then it's a different story. You can have the greatest tracks in the world, but if every transition is just like a train wreck with snares going all across each other and everything, then the crowd is not going to be able to enjoy it anymore. So let me track back for a second, because you're talking about mixing using sync, and why do I think the sync button is so demonized? So, okay, here's the thing for me. And or you add, personally, I enjoy beat matching by ear. Some people just have this disdain towards syncing. Yes. I mean, I don't even get into the discussion with people anymore. about sync. And when I say people, I'm talking about people who feel that they are above the rest because they started with turntables and they feel that's the only way you're a real DJ. So most of the time they probably don't even respect the DJ who's using DJ software because they see a laptop and they see that as not being a real DJ. But if we take a look beyond that, sync for a lot of those people is the devil because mixing is the most important thing that makes you a DJ. As I just said, music selection is already more important than mixing. So that argument to me is already not really valid. Now, is being able to mix one of the skills that a DJ should master? Sure, I agree that. Ja, friendly, je kan gewoon Nederlands praten, man. Geen probleem. But I will answer in English most of the times. So, to me, sync is just a feature that's in software that you can choose to use. And I always advise people not to depend on it because it is a feature that will not always work. And if you only know how to mix using sync and you ever run into an issue where you can't use sync because either you're working with a piece of equipment and a button is not working, or you're working with songs that aren't analyzed right, so then sync will really mess you up. Whatever the case may be, if you're ever in a situation where sync is not your option, you should still be able to mix. So learning how to DJ and mix by ear is an essential skill for that, to save yourself just in case. But to me, being able to mix, and when I say mix right now, I'm just talking about beat matching, because let's be clear, the only thing sync does is it takes over that part of mixing, the beat matching. It will automatically match the tempo of two tracks. If this track is playing at 100 BPM and you're bringing in a new track and you hit sync, it will automatically turn that track to 100 BPM so they now have the same speed. That's only a part of mixing. You still have to know how to count so you know when to bring in the song. So you need to know when you need to start your transition. Sync will not do that. Second of all, you need to work what we just talked about, your EQ the right way. Sync will not do that for you. You will have to make sure your levels are right. Sync will not do that for you. Music selection. Sync does not select your songs. You still have to grab the right track, the right next song. So when you take a look at it, sync only replaces one of the skills of a DJ. And in my opinion, it is not as an important skill. I mean, it took me some time to learn. Some people, it takes a while to learn, but to me, it did not take me long to learn how to do that. I have a drumming background. It made sense to me and it worked pretty quickly. Beat matching is something I do because I need to match my tracks, but that's not what I spend most of my time on. And if you're using sync, they're playing at the same tempo. But if you bring it in and it's slightly off, you still have to know how to adjust it. Sync is not adjusting it for you. So when you take a look at all of the things that come into play when you're doing a transition, sync only takes over a small part. But especially when sync just came out, a lot of these purist DJs were treating it as if sync was doing all the work for a DJ. And now you're cheating because the computer is doing it for you. And to me, that never really made a lot of sense because I knew everything I did when I was DJing. And I've tried sync and yeah, it worked, but it only takes over that little part. The only thing I know is, okay, I pressed that button. So now I don't have to use the headphones to listen and to use my pitch slider to get it to the right tempo, which would most likely take me between 10 and 30 seconds, sometimes faster. That's the only part sync took over for me. Now I still have to bring it in at the right point. I have to make sure that it is actually coming in exactly right. Otherwise, I have to give it a little nudge or hold it back, work my EQ, work my levels, make sure I take it out at the right time. So I'm still doing the rest of the work. So demonizing sync that to me shows a limited vision on the part of the DJs who are demonizing it. They're acting like it's way more than it actually is. That's my personal opinion. And I still run into DJs who feel the total opposite. And like I said, I don't really feel like going into those discussions anymore. I've had a lot of those discussions online years ago. If people still want to talk about that in 2020, I mean, come on. All right. I see a lot of things. I see some bits. 9 Iron, thank you. Let me go back up. My son was talking about this when I did this last Share the Knowledge live stream. Like, yeah, you were talking about this, but then there were already a lot of other questions. I'm like, yeah, I know, bro, but sometimes a question might take me a long time to answer. It's not like this is like a yes and no Q&A. So then I have to scroll back up and take a look at all of the other things that I might have missed. And let me see. DJ Uptown, salute to you, bro. I bought a laptop from a friend of mine, installed Windows 10, downloaded Serato Pro DJ, and now my Numark NS7 II doesn't work anymore. Sometimes it does, sometimes it won't. Did you install the driver for the NS7 II before you connected it? With Macs, you never have that issue. I know that Windows computers sometimes will require you to make sure you do that driver thing first, and otherwise it won't work. I remember I had in the box with the original NS7, it actually had that warning. And I was like, really? I never have to worry about that because I was using Mac at the time, I think. But I remember some equipment could have issues like that. I don't know. I don't know what else it could be except for that driver. So it might you might have to just uninstall drivers and disconnect everything, then reinstall the driver and then connect it again. That might be the thing you have to do. But I'm not 100% sure, of course. But I know sometimes with Windows, that could be an issue. That's the only thing with Windows if you compare it to Mac. Like a lot of times Mac will be plug and play, whatever it is. And with Windows, it will require that you install or sometimes even pre-install drivers. Let me quickly tap the cam. Before it goes to sleep again. So that could be it. The worst feeling knowing you mixed the song super well, but you totally missed and played the dance floor clearer. Yeah, that's the thing. Exactly what we're talking about. You could be technically perfect at the moment, but if it's the wrong song, people will still not appreciate it. No one's going to come up to you like, hey, man, that blend was perfect. I mean, let's be honest. Most people in clubs don't even really notice that. If everything is clean, they most likely won't notice anything. They just recognize a song coming in at a certain point. If you totally mess up, they might hear it, but they're not paying too much attention to the technical side. They just hear the song. So if your mix is perfect, but the song was off, yeah, it can still be a real miss. And let's be honest, man, we've all had the dance floor clearers happen to us. I've had it happen on plenty of occasions where people were just not going at it the way I was. And I was playing like new songs. And I just gotten back from New York. And I had like a bag full of new white label vinyl. Brand new songs, great songs, and I cleared dance floors with that, with a couple of those songs. And the songs that if I mention them, you're like, wow. So I'm not talking about some obscure hip hop that won't work in a club. I'm talking Fat Joe, Terror Squad, Lean Back. I was in New York when that just came out, bought it on vinyl on a white label there, brought it back. First night I played it. People walked off the dance floor. I mean, to me, honestly, people were just corny. A lot of people in the club were really corny at that time because they only wanted to hear what they knew. I was never like that. When I was younger and I would go to a club and I would hear something that I didn't know, but it sounded great, the first thing I would do is walk up to the DJ and ask like, what is this? What is it? So I could go out and buy it. But at a certain point, we were playing at a lot of parties where you could just tell like, okay, anytime I bring in something new, people won't react or actually leave the dance floor. even if it's a song that's just a banger. The first time I heard Lean Back, I was at Beat Street in Brooklyn on the headphones. I was like, yo, what's going on? This is crazy. And we've had it happen multiple times with songs like that. So yeah, man, the clearing the dance floor, I mean, it's never something you want to experience, but it will happen. It will happen. Okay, let me try this one more time while we're at it real quick. I think I know what I might have done wrong. There we go. Yes, I did something wrong, and I know what it is now. I think. If I did it right, it should be appearing in the screen later. I don't see it. Damn it, I thought I fixed it. Okay. Personally, I enjoy beat matching by ear. Yeah, I read that. Yeah. Oh, there we go. See? This is what I was talking about. I was supposed to have overlays without a computer. So it works. This is an extension in Twitch, if there's someone out there using Twitch as well. This extension is actually called Overlay Expert. And it allows you to make an account on the website, and you can actually just design an overlay, and it will show that overlay within Twitch. So if you're watching on YouTube, you're not seeing this. This is only on Twitch, but it works. I wanted to experiment. I just saw I didn't actually select the overlay I designed. That's why it wasn't showing up. Now it's showing up. If it's working right, it should also highlight a couple of other things. So I believe that if someone follows, it should actually do some on-screen alerts. Same thing with subscriptions and stuff like that. Okay, cool. That's me nerding. Oh, see, there we go. Why does it say new content item? That's not how I did it. Wow. All Compton, thanks for the follow. It should have said the name. All right, I need to fix that. That looks really stupid. But thanks for the follow, though, man. I appreciate that. All right. Fortunately, I brought it back real quick. To all DJs, that's me. Uptown. Yeah, drivers. That's what I was talking about as well. DJ Flow, what's going on? No workout today on the ones and twos. No. I have a mix live stream every Monday, and I do this chat live stream every Wednesday, share the knowledge, where we just talk DJ. You can ask any DJ related questions, and we just talk DJs. That's what it's all about. It could be anything from music to technique to you name it. Oh, you're all the way from Malaysia. Oh, thanks for tuning in, yo. I wanna use for my hip hop mixtape. What you wanna use for your? Oh, a DJ drop. Okay. I see you. Hit me on my email, tlm@djtlm.com. DJ Flavs, thanks for the follow. P-Sub, thanks for the follow. I need to fix that, though, man. Now it says content in the screen. That looks really weird. All right. So now I got to go back down. See, that's what I like to see. I see people helping each other out in the chat. That's dope. Appreciate that. Let's go. While I'm here, I do have a question. I'm new, so I'm sure it's been asked before. That's okay. But besides buying records from iTunes stores, Bandcamp, or websites, is there a place you recommend getting music files that are also updates or new releases? I think I already saw someone reply. DJ pools are the way to go. So if you're not familiar with DJ pools, back in the days, something like a DJ pool also existed. And back then, it meant that if you joined a record pool, you would get a selection of new vinyl sent to your home every month. You would pay for that, and they would send you vinyl. Now, it wasn't even supposed to be something paid. It was supposed to be something that the labels would send to DJs, but you'd have one DJ who was like the go-between guy. He would go get all the vinyl for the DJs, and he would sell that stuff to DJs. But that's beside the point. But the point is, a DJ pool is a place for DJs to actually get new music. That used to be the case with new promo vinyl. So record companies, whenever a song was going to be released, before they released it officially, they would make promo, so promotional vinyl copies for DJs. And we would get those through record pools. DJ Nominal, I see you. Thanks for the follow. Nowadays, of course, DJ pools are digital. And that means that if you join a DJ pool, you will pay a monthly fee, but you will have access to their archive. And they will have a lot of new music, as certain record pools will have a selection of older music as well. And that is updated very regularly. Now, you want to make sure there are a lot of different record pools out there. And I can't really comment on which are legit and which aren't. But fact is, the record pools that do it legit actually have the relationships with the record companies, and they will get that music from the record companies. And in some cases, they have the relationships with the artists, and the artists will send them the new music, or even send it to them exclusively so that they have it for a while before it gets released. So DJ City, I will always recommend. And yes, if you're familiar with me and my channel, I also work for DJ City. So that could be viewed as a biased opinion, but I've tried a lot of different DJ record pools, and I definitely feel that they are one of the best. Now, there's a couple of others. For a long time, I used Franchise Record Pool. That's also one. You have Beat Junkies, and damn it, I wanted to name one more. I forgot the name for a sec. It'll come back to me. So there's a lot of record pools out there. So the thing is, you pay a monthly fee. With some, it's a subscription where you pay a fee every 3 months, and then you can download those songs and use them when you play out. So that is, to me, the best option out there. So let's see what else. I don't even know if Newmark is still supporting the NS7 series. I'm not sure. Yeah, I mean, you would guess that it's if you go to the website and check NS7 too. Does it say anything about compatibility? There should be something online that says if it's compatible with the version you're using now, with the Windows 10 version you're using. I mean, the NS7 is definitely old enough. The 2 was a little bit newer, but still pretty old. They made the 3 after that. I think that's it, probably. So I don't know. I'm not sure. I still have the 1, and I mean, I remember when I first got that, that wasn't even using. You didn't even have Serato DJ yet. You had Serato Scratch Live, and then you had, wow, what was it called again? It was separate Serato software specifically for controllers. You had the DVS software and you had the controller software, and they combined it later into just being Serato DJ. What was it called again? You had Pyro, that was their Serato app to play music on your phone, and then you had the software for the controller. Wow. I'm not going Serato itch. That's it. Thank you, Child Play. That's it. It's been that long. I haven't used it in ages, and that's like years ago, Serato itch. But yeah, I still have that NS7, so I don't even know if that's gonna work if I connect it to a computer now with Serato DJ Pro. I have to test that. I have it right here. I need to test that. Yeah, I'm not sure about the copyright issues with Twitch. There was something going around like a week or 2 ago already about music related copyright claims with Twitch. We have to see how that goes. I mean, honestly, if it does happen and DJs are not able to do it on Twitch, that Mixcloud is going to be my way to go, and hopefully I can get people to come there. Now, let's be honest, if DJs can't use Twitch anymore, you're going to see a lot of DJs migrate to Mixcloud, and then that's going to be the main place for that. So I'll just roll with it how it's going now. Currently, I can use it for my live streams. I can't use it for the replay. So the replay is audio on Mixcloud only, but that's how it has to be for now. DJ Damage 10, thank you for the bits. Appreciate that. And I just saw someone say it's called Scratch Live. No, that's not what I'm talking about. Serato Scratch Live was for the DVS with turntables, but Serato Itch was Serato software for controllers. That was the thing. They had 2 different ones. and then they combined it into just being Serato DJ, and that will work for everything, which is the right choice, by the way. So they can work on one piece of software instead of having to constantly work on Itch and Serato Scratch Live. I still have my SL1 as well. Davido, thanks for the follow. All right, I hope I didn't miss anything. I'm gonna scroll down now for a while. Let's see. This, I'm a club DJ who spins every day from 9 to 3. So a 6-hour set without break. So I DJ with Extra Smart on Music Flow that lasts me till last call at the bar. Okay. Yeah, the 6-hour sets, man, that's been a long time for me. I used to do those. I haven't done those in a while. I still have colleagues of mine that are still doing it, but yeah, I don't know if I still want to do that. It's pretty heavy. Yo, I forgot to mention. I should have mentioned that off the top when I started the show. Rest in peace to DJ Spin Bad. That's terrible that I forgot that. I was gonna open the show with that, and then I got distracted. So yeah, rest in peace, DJ Spin Bad. I haven't really checked it out, but like the cause, I don't know. Only thing I know is the man was just 46 years old. And if you're not familiar with DJ Spin Bad, he was a pretty legendary DJ. Like, to be honest, in the Netherlands, we didn't get as much of it. I just knew him from the mixtapes and the crazy skills on the mixtapes with just the mixing, the editing, the mix, the scratches. Really dope DJ. And yeah, 46, man. I mean, that like hits close to home. I'm almost there, you know? So I think this happened today or yesterday. So I didn't know either. I just saw a post from my man DJ Turn, like rest in peace Spin Bad. I was like, okay. Sounded kind of weird to me because I didn't know his exact age, but I knew it couldn't have been much older than me. And yeah, that's terrible. Like, absolutely terrible. Yo, Child's Play. Salute to you, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. For the 3-month subscription. Love. I saw, okay, so that worked as well. I saw another notification on screen, but it also said like new content. I need to see how to fix that. It needs to say new subscriber, and it should say the name as well. So, okay, the chat part is working fine. The other overlay things I have to check. And did you hear a sound? Anyone know? Do you hear a sound when that comes in on screen, the little notification? Because I'm not hearing my computer sound here, but it should come with a sound as well. Okay, so DJ K Flow, I'll take you there for a second because we were just talking about this, and now I see that you mentioned that sync button definitely took the fun away of actual DJing. So I can agree with that to a certain degree. I can agree with that because I personally find a little bit of joy in mixing by ear. Even though I just said it might take me between 10 to 30 seconds, a lot of time, not more than 10, to get them in sync. That'll go pretty fast. I still like doing that. So bringing it in, and even when you hear that the first snare is not really connecting correct and you have to do that little adjustment, to me, yes, indeed, it is part of DJing, but that's also because that's how I started. Now, would I have started as a kid with a controller and sync? I would have probably missed that little step of doing it that way, but hopefully someone would have told me that it would have been a good idea to also learn how to mix by ear, and maybe I would have discovered then that I still think it's fun. But I would not say that it takes away a lot of the fun of actual DJing. So for me, again, just making sure 2 records are playing in sync, matching the tempo, is one small part. I have fun doing it, but it's only a small part. So if sync takes that part away, I still have crazy amounts of fun with everything else and all the rest of the parts of making that transition work, the EQ, you name it. So yeah. Marlon, what's going on? What up? I see someone talking about Beat Source. Yeah, Beat Source is a place where you can buy songs. It's an online store. Just like, for instance, a lot of people use Beatport. Beatport is for house music. and they're the biggest, I think, the biggest online house music store there is, download store. BeatSource is a collaboration between Beatport and DJ City. So together we made BeatSource, sorry, for the open format DJ. So it's way more catering towards people who play a lot of different hip hop, R&B, pop, you name it, and some electronic music as well. And if we take it a little step further, they also offer a service called BeatSource Link, and that will allow you to use all of their music within your DJ software on a streaming basis. So if you have an internet connection, you can stream all of the music on BeatSource in your DJ software. Now, the cool thing about BeatSource is they have a lot of music, and more is added, but they also have a lot of curated playlists. And these playlists aren't curated by just someone in an office with no experience. This is done by actual DJs. So they will have something like a wedding playlist in there or a pop playlist. And if you take a look at the songs in there, you'll see that, okay, this is done by someone who knows which songs would work at a party. So that can help people out that don't have a lot of experience with it yet. But that's also an option. The only thing to me is I like using the online sources, but I want to have music offline as well. And that's what I like about just a DJ pool. I can download that music and I have it in my actual on my actual hard drive instead of just having it online. No, I'm not sure what could be the cause either with Uptown's problem. I don't know. So the question is, what about the club? Because there's already a DJ set there. Let me see, Franlin, did you ask the first part of that question before? I missed that. Now, just to talk about that for a second. Wait, allow. Whoa. Okay, Franlin, I got to find your question again. The chat was holding that question back, and I had to allow it. Maybe it's because you were speaking Dutch, and this chat bot doesn't understand Dutch, and he thinks it's some sort of spam. The question had to do with playing on different equipment that's already at a club. So just to get into that. So his first question was, how long have I been DJing? So I've been DJing for 27 years now. That's about it. Might be getting closer to 28 now, but that's a pretty long time. I just started at home, got my first set, started to just practice, learn DJ skills just by having an ear for music and an ear for the rhythm. Like my drumming background really helped with that, and just started to learn how to blend music. I had no tutorials, I had no mentors. I had to just teach myself how to do all of that. And at a certain point, that grew from just playing at home to playing at a local youth center, to playing at local bars and monthly parties. And it grew and grew and grew from there. So 27 plus years in now. So that's my time. And going to venues and playing on different equipment, that's why it's so important to learn how to use different equipment and to see that with most DJ equipment, all of the basic features you need are actually the same. I can put 10 mixers on a table. They might look a little bit different, but they'll all have channel faders. They'll all have an EQ section. They'll have a gain or trim knob. They'll probably have a Q section or Q buttons to get the sound in your headphones. Q volume. You'll have a master volume. Some mixers will have booth, so you can change the volume of your monitors. And of course, the effects section, that's going to be different on mixers. And if you don't know the effects section on a mixer, that's a little bit tricky. But finding the basic features on a piece of equipment is what a DJ should be able to do. I should be able to come into a room, see a mixer that I've never used before, and within like a minute, I should be able to at least figure out, like, okay, the channels are, well, they are where they're going to be. If there's a crossfader, let me see if there's a button anywhere to change the curve of the crossfader. Okay, where do I do the headphone stuff? Where's my cue? Okay, oh, it has a filter. Nice. Trim is there. Where's my headphone volume? Where's my monitor volume? Good to go. Basically, you're good to go from that point. Now, If there's extras and I have time to check out those extras, sure. If not, I'll probably leave that alone and use those basics. And the same thing applies to like any controller. I can grab the biggest controller to like a small entry-level controller. Those basics are going to be there on both of them. I might grab a couple in a second. So that's really important, just to know how the basic features work and where they are. Yeah, there's definitely some great, crazy good DJs who use sync. Yeah, you can look at people like Craze, and I know that for certain routines and stuff, he uses sync, and when he's DJing, and that's one of the baddest people on the planet. He's a great DJ. So it's not like he needs sync, but it just takes away that little thing that at the moment is not that important, because of course he can match the beats of two songs. We don't have to doubt that, but he's working on way more intricate stuff. So he wants to get rid of that little part so he can focus on way more important stuff and more technical stuff. All right. BeatSource doesn't actually get me the files though, does it? So yeah, BeatSource is the store. So you can buy them, buy songs. BeatSource link is the streaming service. And in that case, you don't own the songs. You can choose to get the subscription or actually buy the track from the website. Yeah. DJ pools are a good option. Yes. So the thing is with DJ pools, DJ Invest says, make sure you have an online presence, social media, so they have some reference to look at, even if they even do that. I remember when I first got into DJ pools, I saw every DJ pool they would have a questionnaire. Like, I would have to like write down multiple clubs where I DJ'd, radio stations where I played. And I mean, I was like filling it in, thought it was really necessary. I don't even know if DJ pools still do that. I know some DJ pools check. I think a lot of DJ pools don't check because they want to check. So yeah, but having a little bit of a social presence would help. I mean, if you have like an Instagram account and they can see that you have your DJ equipment, or maybe that they can see you play out, that would for sure help. Damn, that's tricky. I have my chat on the side where I'm still way back, and on screen I see the new chat coming in. So now I'm going between older. All right. Yeah, like there's a great example. K-Flow, like spin a set of 80s retro with BPM change a few times. Yeah, sync won't help. See, that's the thing, what I was talking about. Like, you can use sync, but you should be able to mix by ear just in case sync won't work. In a case like that, sync won't work. Even if the feature is still working, it won't be able to help you out in that situation, because with older music, especially if it's music that's played live, the BPM will fluctuate. That's not going to work. But I've had it happen that I was on a system and somehow sync was activated. I don't even know how it happened. But I was playing two songs, and they were newer songs, but somehow one of the two songs had been analyzed wrong, because I don't know what sync did, but they were not playing at the same tempo. And that's the thing. To me, it's like cruise control in a car. Could be cool, but if I'm taking a corner, I want to have full control of the car, and I don't want that car to decide how fast I'm going. I feel the same way about sync. I want to have full control. I prefer to play that way, but to each his own. So I don't mind anyone using sync, but it's not the way I prefer to play. I want to be in full control. Now, if I was doing like a special routine like Crazy is doing, and I know sync would make sure everything stays in sync while I focus on the rest, yeah, I might use it then, but then it's actually functional to me. Otherwise, I prefer to just do it myself. Beat matching got easier thanks to Funky Mix, Alt Mix, Wicked Mix, Rec Shop, DJ Tracks. So what you're basically talking about is edits, and a lot of DJ pools offer edits as well. And for those not familiar with edits, songs do not always have a clear structure in the beginning. So especially with hip hop and R&B, you do have songs that are structured with a lot of times, for instance, an 8-bar hook and 16-bar verses, but that's not always the case. But you have a lot of songs that will just start immediately or with a vocal that starts a little bit before the one and then the beat comes in. Those take a little bit more to make them work as you're doing a transition. So when we were playing with vinyl, we had to learn exactly how every record started. With edits, what they do now is they'll just take a part of the beat where it's instrumental. Even if it's a short part, they'll loop that short part. And they'll make sure you'll have 8 bars of beat at the beginning of the song before the song begins. That way, indeed, if one song is playing and it gets to the chorus, to the hook, that hook is 8 bars long, you have your new track ready, and that track has that 8-bar intro, then the math is pretty easy. You can always mix your intro into the hook of the other song, and they should always end up at the correct point. So yes, that is something that has made it easier. Again, that's something I don't have a problem with. I love using edits. I mean, if I didn't have the edits and I was using the original versions, then I would probably be doing more of dropping it on the one, because a lot of times with songs that don't have a good intro, a mix is not your best option. So that makes no real difference to me. If I have the normal version, I bring it in on the one and the crowd is still going to enjoy it. But if I have that 8-bar intro and I can do a nice transition, cool. I like to hear that too. So you're absolutely right. It made life a little bit easier, and I'm not mad at it. Forgot to add, it also allows you to own the track if you buy it. Streaming, it only gives you yes. Now with BeatSource Link, it is a fact that you, in your subscription, you have a couple of tiers, and with certain tiers in the subscription, you can store certain tracks, a certain amount of tracks offline. So that way they basically are still on your computer, but you still don't own them. And yeah, owning them is what I prefer. Timmy Snyder, thanks for the follow. I appreciate that. And let's see. So yes, we talked about the DJ pools. Oh no, Child's Play. The overlay, the yellow strip at the bottom. That's something I do right here from my setup. So from my ATEM Mini Pro, in my video switcher and broadcaster, I actually import that little bottom part right into my feed. So that's what I'm sending to Restream. So that's not part of the overlay. So on YouTube, you can see that part, but the people on Twitch are actually seeing the chat on screen as well. I can actually show you. Hold up. Let me start this camera again. Yes. So I can show you what I mean with the bottom part. I have to open up my ATEM software control for a second, and I can go into my media. And right now I have the little bottom part for this broadcast, my Share the Knowledge broadcast. Now, when I'm back on Monday with my crates live stream, I will do this. And there's my crates bottom. And next time I'm doing a workout motivation set, the drop set live stream, that's going to be a couple of weeks. Whenever I do that live stream, I use this one. So that's something I'm doing inside the ATEM Mini software on my computer. Now, I'll get up in a second to fix that GoPro so you can see my my table. So if you're not familiar with the ATEM Mini Pro, you can actually see that. So let me get back to this one. There we go. So that's what I'm doing here. All right. Let's go down, and then I'm gonna fix that GoPro for a second. Lover412, thank you for the follow. Long Beach Alarm, thanks for the follow. Okay, I realize digital DJ pools feature a lot of underground stuff compared to BPM Supreme. BPM Supreme is too expensive for me. BPM Supreme is the other name I wanted to mention. Yeah, see, that's the thing. Every DJ pool has a different selection. I think with the legit ones, it depends on which labels they actually have good deals with. And I know for us with DJ City and BeatSource, we have a lot of deals with a lot of the labels. So a lot of music is coming in. But then there are certain pools that will focus more on a lot of old school stuff. How they get that on there, I don't know, but they have it. Enzone, I see you. Thanks for the follow. I think it's Enzone. And DJ Squish Squash, thank you for the follow as well. Let's see, DJ Diamond Lee, BPM Supreme looks great for me because I DJ a lot of weddings. See, that's the thing. It also depends on what kind of DJ you are. Certain DJs need to have that broad selection of music, and certain DJ pools will have anything from trap to country music. And for some DJs, that is exactly what they need. Now, other DJs are way more into just having like the popular club bangers when it comes to their hip hop, R&B, and maybe a little bit of electronic, and some pools will be perfect for that. That's different. Now, with most DJ pools, you can actually go to their site, and I believe you can actually take a look at their archives to see what they have going on. Oh, and if you're into videos, I received that question this week. You can also check out Smash Vision. They do videos. I used to be I have a subscription there for a while because I was DJing with videos a little bit years ago. And every once in a while, I'll just take a subscription for like a month, download a bunch of stuff, and then I'm out again. I mean, that's a tactic. I mean, I do that because I'm not a video DJ. If I was DJing with videos all the time, I would most likely just have one steady subscription there. But yeah, that's not really what I'm into. I might do a couple on Twitch as well. We'll see, because I still have like 12 or 1,500 music videos here in the stash, but I just don't really DJ with them. DJ City was the only one that followed the rules strictly. Yeah. I mean, we're legit. That's all I can say. I can't speak for other DJ pools, but at DJ City, it is really legit all the way. Folks, okay, I learned that promo only as far as I know on the few right now. Okay. Yeah, franchise record pool. I used them in the past. Club Killers, I've seen that as well. I've never used it. Before record pools, we used LimeWire, Otis, Wares, SoulSeek. Yeah, man. The old days. Yeah, there's a bunch of them, like a bunch of the DJ services or pools that I haven't used. There's a lot out there. There really are. All right. I must be like mad behind. See, there's a lot I haven't even talked about yet. I had to order a direct drive motor for my turntable and just ordered a pair of 1200s. How do you feel about the 12s? Oh, a pair of 12s. How do I feel about the 12s? I was DJing on them Monday. So I have a set, and I like them. I mean, it's great to have a controller with a full 12-inch motorized platter. What I said in the stream is the downside is if you also have vinyl, you can't play your vinyl on that. So you still need turntables. Now, I still have vinyl. So if I ever want to play that vinyl, I need turntables. Now, of course, I have my turntables, but I mean, they feel great. It's not exactly as a turntable, but it's pretty close. And the other thing was, what I said is, if you get them and it is what you start to use to play with, you will most likely have to carry them everywhere because clubs don't have them. That is an issue. And I mean, I've brought my equipment to plenty of gigs over the years. Back in the days, I always had to bring my turntables when I was touring with Brainpower, and they would never have turntables. I was always bringing my own. Plus, I wanted to be safe. We were doing major shows. I don't want to use a set that's there and I don't know if it's working correctly, so I would bring my own equipment. I've carried my own equipment for such a long time that in clubs, I'd rather just have their turntables. Now, especially nowadays with phase, I'm perfectly fine with that because I don't really have to worry about if the tone arm is correct or if the wiring is okay. As long as that turntable spins and the pitch works, then I'm perfectly fine with phase. But the 12s, I mean, I have it and I love the set. But I don't know if I would recommend a set of 12s over a set of turntables and phase, because that will give you room to go more ways. That rhymes. But yeah, I have my 12s. I did my set Monday. I might do next Monday's set on them. but I might also switch it up also more. But you'll see me use the 12s now and then. Let's get down here. So I see people talk about the NS7 and discontinued. Yeah, I just don't know how far they are now. I think I have a lot of catching up to do. I'm crazy far behind. Okay, Flo, you're on Periscope. Dope. All right, down. And to bring it back to spin bat for just 1 second, because I never like to, I don't want to say be fake, but I knew about spin bat, but I didn't have a lot of the spin bat mixtapes or anything like that. So for some people, it's like they really had him in high regards, and they had all the mixtapes. They knew all the things he did. That's not the case for me. I just know of him, and the things I heard were dope. But I had the same thing with a name that I saw mentioned here as well, DJ AM. A lot of people always have AM on like that crazy pedestal, like that was one of those guys. And I never knew about AM. Like, I found about AM, I think, after his passing. And even then, I only saw a couple of little snippets online of him DJing, which were cool, but it wasn't even like I was blown away by that. Part of that is just the fact that in the Netherlands, we did not have the same access that you have over there. So I had certain friends that would already visit the US, and they would have more mixtapes, and you would hear names more often. Then we got a couple of stores that were importing certain mixtapes, so then you started to see some names more often. But that was not like part of your normal regimen to have like all of the albums come in, but also hear all the mixtapes and know all the DJs. And we did not have the radio shows over here. Some people would record some stuff over there and bring it back. So yeah, it's a shame to say, but I mean, I would have to check more of him, because I can't name a lot. I just know what I heard was really, really dope. And I was just shocked because I knew he had to be my generation. And to see that he's that close to me in age, it's like, that's just way too soon. Yeah. All right. And he's Russell Peters DJ. The funny thing is Russell Peters can DJ as well. He's actually pretty dope on the wheels. Like, he's a real student of the game. He's dope. All right. What else? Okay, the red alert had a sound, a creepy one. Okay, cool. At least it works. Yeah, I need to see how I'm going to do that in the future, because right now I hear myself. And of course, that's the most important thing, because I want to make sure my mic is working and I'm getting direct monitoring of what's happening here. I can hear the very soft music in the back that I'm putting in through Bluetooth to the Rodecaster. So I have my ears on this, but I'm not hearing what you can hear in Twitch. So either I'd have to, if I get the speakers on, I'm going to hear my voice back, and that's not going to help me out. So I'm going to see if I can do something else about that in the future, but it's not that important though. What else? Check out for your own channel editor. Okay. I'm assuming that's not a question, so I'll just go on. See, that mic cuts off anytime I stop talking. I don't like that. I have to change the gate settings on that. New content. DJ Morb. Or Mob? Thanks for the follow. Let's see. What else? I'm sorry, I'm quiet for a second. I have to make sure I'm not missing a lot here. Yo, if I missed your question, by the way, and you see that I'm already past it, just drop it in the chat again. You started with the PDX 2000. I still have my old ones. I have the 3000s as well. Super dope. All right. Do you find that getting older makes it harder to get gigs? I'm getting close to 30. That's not old, bro. I'm getting close to 30 and find it harder and harder to get booked. What's your thoughts? I don't think age has a lot to do with it. And I'm not saying that because I'm over 30, but I don't think so. I mean, to be honest, that could be different everywhere around the world. Now, judging by your name, you should be here in the Netherlands as well. And I mean, I know plenty of people over 30 that are still getting a lot of gigs. So I don't think that's the issue. Your age shouldn't matter. Now, your connections and the way you network, your social presence, all of those things will help out a lot. And to be honest, I mean, a lot of people that have been in the game a little bit longer and might have reached this age or a little bit older are probably a lot better connected than some of the young DJs. That does change every once in a while because you always have new generations of people coming into the party scene on the promoter side as well. So every whatever 5 or 10 years, you're going to have that new group of people coming in, organizing all sorts of events, and they will most likely also bring in a lot of new DJs. But I don't know. I've never really experienced that. Now, I think age is way less important as how much you're still into what's going on. So for me personally, that changed in the last couple of years, and I was not really feeling the things that were going on in the club anymore. So that's more of a disconnect between myself and what's happening in the clubs. Now, that can come with age, but then again, I know plenty of people that have reached that age and that are still fully into what's happening, and they're still doing all the gigs. So no, that shouldn't be an issue. Redeemed highlight my message. Okay, I didn't even know we had that. So yeah, I agree with FTR. The chat is definitely popping. It's great to see the combos going on. So even though I get stuck and hang on to a question and I'm spending a lot of time answering it, when I scroll, I see that you guys are having your own discussions going on here as well. And that's what, to me, this is all about. It shouldn't just be about you listening to me. I'm finding out stuff by checking the chat as well. And I mean, especially now during this lockdown pandemic era, and we're not getting together, being able to still have those combos is just dope. And if it's in the chat, then it's going to be in the chat. Yeah, so again, with craze, it speeds up the creativity. 100% agree. Only DJs have the sync button conversation. The crowd doesn't care. Rob X, I could not agree more. Like I said, when you're playing, they're not taking any time to look at the technical aspect of DJing. They could care less. That's not what they're on. They're listening to the music. So this discussion is always just with the DJs. DJ Flav, thanks for the bits. Love. One question for old school DJs. Have you ever poured beer into the mixer just to get the venue to buy a new mixer? Well, no, I haven't, but I know of stories, yes. And the funny thing is, here in the Netherlands, back in the days, a lot of clubs used to have mixers by a brand called Datek. That's DATEQ, Datek. Big mixers, long, way too long channel faders, a lot of EQ options, you name it. These things were absolute beasts, and not like I loved them, but they were like tanks. They were like made to last. And I know certain DJs were really tired of those mixers because the first Pioneer DJM mixers were there. You had the 500. I think the 600 came out, and a lot of them were still playing in clubs where they had like the old Datek mixers. And I know of DJs who were like, okay, I need the owner to get with the times. And like one like poured basically like a bottle of Coca-Cola into the mixer. But those things were so beastly that it didn't break. So that's the crazy part. It didn't even work. Yeah. So I know of stories like that. I've almost had beer go into one of my laptops, but it was saved luckily by a little overlay that I had on my keyboard. That's a different story altogether, but I just thought of that when I thought of the beer. I was playing at a New Year's Eve gig, and I had one of those special rubber overlays you could put on your laptop that had all the Serato shortcuts on it. Because before that, I would put little stickers on the keyboard of my laptop to remember. That was like at the beginning of Serato, to remember all of the different keyboard functions I had to use to load the tracks, you name it, because I was using DVS, no controller. So everything had to be done on the laptop. I had that rubber overlay, an ice skin on top of that. I was playing New Year's Eve, and this guy gets up to the DJ booth, and he was happy. That's the only reason I think I didn't knock him out. He was like really happy, really liking what I was doing, but he was drunk and like too drunk. And he came, he stood next to me, he put his arm around me, but he had a beer in that hand. Now, that hand came over my shoulder on me, and I just saw that beer just go straight out onto the laptop. So luckily, I could just grab that entire rubber overlay and take it off, and all the beer had fallen on that. So none went into the laptop. So an ice skin saved my life. I don't know. The beer just got me into that story. Serato is terrible at analyzing songs, so you also always have to reanalyze it yourself and move the points around. That might be true. I'm not sure. Like a lot of times my songs are already analyzed before they get into Serato, but I know I've also analyzed some in Serato. I don't remember if they were that bad, but that could be. That could be actually a dope test. I don't know if there's a video like that online of just taking songs that are just totally fresh and analyzing them in the different DJ software. Like I remember back in the days, I used to use Mixmeister to analyze my songs. After that, I think I used Mixed in Key for a while. And now everything is a mess in my folders and everything. So I have tons of different tracks that have all been analyzed and tagged by different sources. And one day I'll take the time to really organize that and clean that up. We got FFXM Hunter. Thanks for the follow. And then we got Saida Miru. Thanks for the follow. And again, if I'm butchering names, I apologize in advance. Let's see. Sometimes sync activated can mess up mix. Yeah, like I said, I've had it happen that sync was activated on a device I was using, and I didn't know it, and that really messed me up because it was doing something I didn't want it to do, and I only saw after the blend was done. I didn't understand why I didn't have the full control. That's when I saw that somehow sync got activated. Not a fan of that happening. So wait, what am I seeing here? No Tesla for me? What did I say? That I'm not getting a Tesla anymore? What? Get me that Tesla. I'm open for it. Why is that not playing? Why is that stopping at the intro? Play that entire thing. Just messing around with the iPad for a sec. Open that up. So there it is. Loop. Thank you. And let's open Restream again. All right. If you were given the opportunity to DJ a bigger club than what you're used to, but the promoter wants to pay you based off the door instead of your rate, would you say no or accept that opportunity? I think I would only accept something like that if I would know in advance that this is a club that will fill up no matter what. Otherwise, I don't think I would ever be into that. I mean, I've seen promoters that are really pushing DJs to like promote parties or even actually sell tickets to the party. That's not what I'm into. So I don't see a lot of situations where I would go for that. Or like I said, let's say you know of a venue and you just know that every weekend it's packed. No matter what's going on there, it's packed. then that might be a good deal. But I don't think I prefer to work on a basis that my fee will depend on certain things. I would rather just have my fee. So that's that. I think that's the way I would do it. Yeah, we used to have to buy singles to get the extended versions. I know. And now with a lot of that vinyl, I see that a lot of times the extended versions that were on 12 inches aren't available online. I mean, I'm cool with that. So then sometimes you can have something that's still a little bit exclusive, because having exclusives has definitely become harder with just everyone having access to basically everything. Um, mm. So the record pools now give you extended instrumental intros. Yeah, that's the edits that we're talking about. With the edits, you will get like your intro and outro. And okay, I've said it 10 times now. I gotta freaking do it now. I've been talking about activating that GoPro and I still haven't done it. Okay. So as soon as I switch that GoPro, DJ Diamond Lee, I'm going to get into your question. And I see someone mentioning Pulse Locker. Yeah, man, that was a thing for a second, but the idea was cool, but the execution was just not done right. But some of that technology is being used now, indeed. Okay, DJ Diamond Lee, hold up. GoPro time. Yeah, to me that's cool. Having that extra angle, it'll stop shaking in a second. Hold up, stop it. To me, that's just fun having the extra angles. That's what I love about that A10 Mini Pro, just to be able to have that option to switch. All right, so the future of Twitch is for DJs. What the future of Twitch is for DJs, I don't know. I mean, a lot of DJs have found a place to be able to at least have an outlet, you know, because the club gigs aren't really there. At the same time, a lot of DJs have used it to spark their creativity or feel the freedom to play a little bit more of the things that they might not play in their regular club settings. So that's a cool thing. And I mean, just to speak for myself now at the current moment, like I just started to do the live streams again, even though I knew I wasn't really 100% ready. And I know that sounds weird if you've been DJing for 27 years, but I have not been DJing as much. So there's just a little rust. You're not really into that flow anymore. But instead of waiting and just doing, now I'm really getting into that flow, and it sparks that fire within. You start to feel a certain joy that you miss when you're not playing out. I mean, you can play at home, but playing at home or doing a live broadcast when people are actually tuning in is just a different feeling, because you know you are performing for someone or multiple people. And that gives it a different feeling. Now, especially once you start to have a few people that tune in and you get some feedback, it becomes even doper. And yeah, that's what's happening now. Certain DJs are really using this as a replacement for their DJing. I mean, I know DJs, and I've seen DJs who are actually just doing entire club nights from their Twitch account. DJs who were just doing a Friday, Saturday, and even Sunday, playing like from 11 to 5 at night. so they're doing like they're playing in a club. I've seen DJs incorporate different things. Some DJs are doing like game show things. Some DJs use it, try to get everything out of it to monetize it to the fullest potential. Some DJs have like request lines going on, turning it into radio shows. I see a lot of different ways that DJs are using the streaming platforms. For me personally, it's a way to, first off, get that fire going, get back into that flow. The rust is coming off, so it's starting to get better again. I mean, I'm not there yet, but it's getting better again. And it also allows me to, and that will happen over time, choose to do certain things that I really want to do music wise, and hopefully grow a fan base that's into that. And if I want to eventually turn that into something where I can actually go places to play that way, because I might have built up a fan base there, or just to build it up and keep doing it from the streams, I don't know. But I think this is a great option for DJs. And now it's Twitch, of course, and hopefully we continue to use that. If that's not an option, then Mixcloud is the next way to go. And even though Twitch is the place where most people are, I've watched a couple of DJs who are really using Mixcloud for their streaming outlet. And I see a lot of great interaction happening over there as well. And I mean, Mixcloud is new, of course. It's not really into that. It's not as far as Twitch is. Twitch already has so many extra things going on with all the overlays and extensions and the way people who consume Twitch are used to using it. But still, I mean, this streaming will continue to be something we use, but I'm not really looking too far ahead when it comes to the future of Twitch, because we have to see what happens with all of the copyright things going on. But that's why it's important never to stay stuck on one platform and always look ahead. You can build a main fan base somewhere. I mean, YouTube was that for me, and that will continue to grow. But this is something totally different, even though it's both video and I can also live stream on YouTube. Twitch has a different vibe, a different feeling to it, and Mixcloud as well. That's why I'm streaming to all platforms right now, just to see what happens on those platforms, hopefully grow on Mixcloud as well, because you never know. YouTube might shut it down totally. I mean, when I stream there, the stream live works well when I'm mixing. I cannot do the replay. Replays on Twitch aren't really working either because they mute half of the song, so you really have to catch people live. That's going to be a bit of an issue unless you really build that own fan base, because a lot of DJs are streaming and we can't all have the same people. Oh, hold up. We can't all have the same people watching all of our streams at the same time. So that remains to be something we have to work on. And replays will be cool. Right now, I'm satisfied with having the replay on Mixcloud, even though it's audio and you miss the interaction. It is still something that allows people to listen back. But yeah, I'm not looking too far ahead right now. I'm just building my live streaming craft, working on that more and more, learning more and more about the live broadcast, because even though I've been doing YouTube for a long time, live broadcasting is a different animal, and I want to learn more about it, do it more, get more experience with it, become better at it, and find other ways to use that to my advantage. Maybe even later on when I'm not streaming on one of these platforms and I have maybe even an own platform where I use that I will use for my streams. I use everything I do to build my skills. DJ, let's see. I saw something else. Where was it? I missed it. VJ Street is the best source for videos. I don't know. I haven't seen VJ Street. Like I said, I haven't really been into video that much. So I used to use what it was called Smash Vids when I used it first. Then it changed to Smash Vision. But I can understand there's probably a lot more video DJ pools as well. DJ Kane Live, thanks for the follow. Woodchip, thanks for the follow. DJ Red Brewer, thanks for the follow. Appreciate all of you. Thanks a lot. I missed something and I can't find it anymore. Again, if I missed your question, keep putting it in the chat. DJ 6, what are you talking about, man? Let's see. Yeah, Vest, that's true. With the Prime line, you can now just log in from the device and stream the music as well. Can you scratch with sync? Can you scratch with sync? Of course. I mean, in what way do you mean? If you ever come across anyone selling the old Numark NS7, I have it, but I'm not selling it. No. Ooh, Franlin, about DJ sets. Like, so here's the thing. So let me turn that into a little bit more of a general answer. When someone asks me about buying DJ equipment, so advice for what to buy. And the second part of the question is actually great, because the question was if I have any tips for a good DJ set and which one would fit him. That's the important part. And that's why it's really hard for me to just say this is what people should buy or that is what people should buy, because it really depends on what it is that you need and want. So some people are just starting out. They decided, hey, I want to go for a controller. There you go. So now we can get rid of all turntables, media players, whatever it is. It's going to be a controller. All right. You have entry-level controllers and the starter controllers. The entry-level controllers now are actually way better than they were a couple of years ago. They will already offer you a ton of features. So you have to take a look at some of these controllers and see if you think that that has everything you would need. Now, I can tell you it has everything you need to mix, and it has definitely a nice amount of features on top of that. Now, if you compare it to controllers that are a tier above that, those controllers will most likely be a little bit bigger jog wheels, a couple more features. So that could be interesting, but those extra features might not be something you need. So it's really hard to say, hey, this is what someone needs. Your budget is also very important, of course. Now, if you're not going the controller route, but you want to go for turntables, again, there's a lot of options. You have the top tier turntables, and of course, they're going to be more expensive. Then you also have a lower tier turntables, and then you have to really take into consideration, like, okay, at least go for direct drive turntables. I would say that, because those motors are stronger. If you go for a belt drive turntable, I mean, I learned how to DJ on belt drive turntables, so they work, but you have to imagine you're working with turntables that don't have enough power to, when you let the record go, play at the right speed. They need some time to get into it. So it takes a lot more work to get them working right. So I would definitely go for direct drive turntables. And then again, you have different brands, different prices. I'm not that familiar with the entry-level turntables to say which ones would be great, but there's so much you have to look at. So which features do I need? If you're going to go with DJ software and a controller, which DJ software are you using? Because yes, DJ controllers are MIDI, and you could basically use most DJ controllers with most software, but a lot of times a controller will be made specifically for one software, and some of the buttons will be perfectly placed and made for that. Everything plays a role. So for instance, if you want to use Tractor, I would say use it with a Native Instruments piece of hardware, because that will work the best. It's too long of an answer. You would have to answer a lot of specific questions for me to be able to tell you this is probably right for you. So you have a starting point. You need to know what type of equipment you're going to start with. That's the first. Your budget will then dictate which range you can even look at, because if you want to buy media players, the SC5000s or 6000s are probably going to be out of range. And let's not even talk about CDJ 2000 Nexus or 3000. That's really expensive. So Then you have to look at a lower tier. I don't even know which ones you have in that range. There's a lot of ways you can go. There's all-in-one devices that are really dope. They're a little more expensive, but they have a lot to offer. There's so much. That's the thing. There's so much out there now. You have so many options that it's really hard to say like, okay, this is the one you need to go for, because a lot of things are good enough to use. And having workshops by DJ DNS is always a good thing. DNS is a master, and he can definitely teach you what you need to know. Yeah, the first edition NS7, it's still here. I still have it. I haven't touched it in years. It's in a flight case, and yeah, for me that's a piece of history. So I will not get rid of my NS7. That was a game changer when that came out. Like, incredible. It was never near as good as the later versions. Those were just better. But that first one is a piece of history right there. So I really, 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 I will keep that. All right, you got to also look at what type of gigs you're trying to get when you're trying to get into a club where there's younger people. You just have to showcase that you can still play that music. I'm 43, so I don't DJ in the clubs. I do weddings. Yeah, it's a choice, though. It's definitely a choice. Like I said, like, I started to dislike the things that were going on here, the music that was being played most of the times in the clubs. So I started to play less. I started to get booked more for like the throwback gigs, because of course I can do those, but I love to do those. But a lot of the newer stuff was just not really my thing. And I'm not talking about new music. There's plenty of new music I like, but the things they were playing in the clubs here, I was just like, it's not really me. So I really stepped away from that a little bit. But if you are that age and you're still totally into that, then you can still totally play, for sure. Club industry in Asia looking for young female DJs with sexy big boobs. So old bald-headed DJs like myself, or me, I guess, are not in demand. Now, see, of course, that could be a thing, and that's going to be different in different places, but you do see more female DJs coming into the picture. And salute to all my dope female DJs out there, because I know a lot of female DJs that are dope, but I also see DJs also here on Twitch, a lot of followers and a lot of viewers, and then I tune in to take a look, and I stay there for like 10-15 minutes. And it's pretty obvious that people are not there for the DJ skills, maybe partially for the music selection, but yeah, other things count there as well. So if you're in an area where people are really looking for that image, they want to have like the sexy girl on the flyer, but the sexy girl is also the DJ, then they will get bookings, and that might take bookings away from you. That's possible. Yeah, it's going to be different in different places. Specialize in private events as well. Occasionally I'll take a club, especially when they were open. And for the DJs in the chat who do a lot of weddings and private events, I would imagine that with a lot of those gigs, the music is really all over the place. Is there also a lot of new music being played there, or does it stop like a couple of years back? I mean, I've only done a couple of weddings, and those weddings were really catered towards me and what I play. So I knew in advance I didn't have to go out and play like everything. They were booking me like, hey, we want you at our wedding because of the way you play, and we want to have that music at the wedding. So how is that now? I'm a married guy with 3 kids, full-time job, so being in the club, I'm not interested in it at all. Yeah, that's also a thing, and that has to do with not just age, but just where you are in life. I mean, I can say for myself as well, with 2 kids and having like a school day schedule in your life as well, playing all night on Friday and Saturday is not something that really has my interest anymore. I mean, I don't mind doing gigs a little bit later every now and then, but I'm like the whole club scene, that thing as well, is something that it was never really my thing. I mean, I could go out and have fun, and I would always love to play in the club because I was playing music I loved. So that was the exciting part about clubs. But everything around it, and all the guys peacocking, and all the girls, the attitudes, the drunk people, all of that is not something that I look forward to, or I'm like, yes, I'm going to the club. I don't have that, so I can totally relate to that. And I noticed that like a long time ago. Like when I was younger, I would be in clubs every day. If I was not DJing, I was at clubs. At a certain point, I started to feel like, okay, whenever I don't have a gig, I am not going to a club. I'm staying home. And we would be at home and we would just chill, and it would be like Netflix and lovely. So that happens as well. Like at a certain point, like, and it depends. I know people my age who still want to do that whole club thing all the time. I'm not interested in that at all. Just not. Like playing in clubs, cool, but the whole club scene, yeah, it's not my thing. Age equals experience. Yeah, depending on how young you start, though. I mean, if you start at 35 and you're now 36, then your experience level is not up there yet. But I understand what you mean. Vess, thanks with the bits again. And wait, did I miss Santone Mac? Santone Mac, thanks for the follow. Somehow I get the feeling that the chat here, because it's also adding chats from different places, is really mixing up the order. That's what my son was telling me last time, because I have a feeling I see a reply to something I said a very long time, and then I see a lot of things that were definitely said later. Okay, I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna scroll down now, because I think we've been missing a bunch. Yeah, like exactly, Vest. Like I noticed that too. Like with live streaming, you can tell that more DJs are playing what they want to play, and I that's the freedom. That's the great thing. Like, okay, cool. You can have people that tune in, and when you start to play stuff they don't know, they might tune out again. They might leave, but it's perfectly fine. There's no extra ramifications. It's not like there's a promoter who's gonna come up to you like, yo, man, you need to switch it up and play something for whatever, the ladies, or it's not gonna happen. And that's how it should be now, because if all days that normally play in clubs, and a lot of those DJs play the same stuff, if they now all get on Twitch and play that same stuff, that's not how you're going to set yourself apart. This is the perfect time for DJs to actually show their own identity and really play their own thing. Okay, I see something in between here that I want to get into. What is DJing? Can you call someone who doesn't even know how to beat match a DJ? Is there another term for it? Yeah, someone who can't DJ, you could still call them a DJ. I mean, the DJ is a disc jockey. I mean, you're playing tracks. If I see someone at a club and they can't beat match, and they just bring everything in on the one, and they're rocking that crowd with crazy tracks, reading that crowd, giving them all the right stuff, I would not say, no, that's not a DJ. That's just someone playing all the tracks that people want to hear. Nah, you're DJing. Now, you're not DJing at the same level technically as DJs who could do everything, but I would not go and make a distinction like, okay, you're a DJ because you can beat match and you can do this and this and that. I'm not going to call you a DJ because you have a great song selection, you work your EQ and everything well, you read the crowd, but you can't beat match, so you're not a DJ. I mean, I know some people really look at it that way. Like a lot of people see beat matching and mixing as the same thing, when beat matching is just a part of doing the actual mix. I'm not gonna go that route, trying to say that you're something else than a DJ if you don't do the beat matching part. All right. Yesterday I was listening to DJ Supreme, and I asked him what you feel about DJ TLM. Wait a minute. I was translating while I was reading. Let me just read it in Dutch for myself first for a second. Okay. Yeah, let me just switch on. Hey, W, what's going on, man? I didn't even see you were in here. Okay, so just to ask Andy, because you're saying that Mixcloud is not as good as Twitch, what is the biggest difference for you watching a DJ live stream? What's the biggest difference when you watch on Mixcloud compared to Twitch? What makes Twitch better? That would be very interesting to know, because there's a lot of DJs in here, but I want to hear from people who just come to watch DJs. What would make Twitch better than Mixcloud? That's interesting to know. So if you can let me know that in the chat here, that would be great. Allow. Damn it! The chat did it again. It showed me a message and asked me to allow or delete it. I allowed it, and then it places it somewhere. DJ Kane, that was your message. Let me see if I can find that again. Where? Yeah, okay, let me get into that for a sec. DJ K-Flow, because you just said that. I tried live streaming on Twitch for about 4 times. Each time I'd be spinning a 2-hour set. The maximum viewer is 1, and that's stream element. So, okay, that basically you're saying that no one watched the stream. When you're just starting out and you don't already have some sort of following, you start at 0. And I mean, I heard my son say this like 2 days ago, because he had shown a couple of people my stream, my mix stream. And at that time, I think there were like 55 people watching on YouTube. And even then they were like, why is there only 55 people when he has so many subscribers? Like, okay, I have over 165,000 subscribers on YouTube. That does not mean they will tune into a live stream, especially that's totally different than posting a video. Live streams overall are way lower in like view count compared to posting videos. I've seen that all over. So people who have like 100 people watching a stream, that's already a very nice amount. Now, of course, you have some outliers that will go way above that, but having a lot of people watching a stream is not easy at all. That will take time. I mean, I have a following, so I have people that find out that I'm on Twitch. I've had this account for a long time, but that I'm streaming on Twitch now, so they'll tune in. But for me, it is also a journey of consistency now for weeks and weeks. And do that, it's only a couple of weeks now, but I have to continue to do that. Every time I stream, a couple of new people might discover the stream. Now, over time, I will start to promote the stream more, because in the beginning, I was not doing a lot of promo, because I knew that I was just beginning and I have to get into it. So I have not even been fully promoting at all, just a couple of posts. And at a certain point, I need to start doing that more and more and more. Your starting point is 0. It will still take consistency to get people to come check out your stream. Now, I think promo in your case is important, because you should at least start out with 1 or maybe 2 people that watch. So even if it's in your immediate surroundings, having 1 or 2 people who join and watch the stream, that will help your stream to go higher on the list of people currently streaming, because if you go to Twitch, it will most likely have the top viewed things above, and then it goes down to the videos with less viewers. So if you only have one viewer or zero, that goes down a lot. So having a couple of people, even if they're not watching, even if they just turn your stream on, that number will increase. That should probably bump you up a little bit. But consistency is the key. So if you stream 4 times and it's been 4 random times, then people don't have an opportunity to know when they can find you. So I now just started today to actually include like a counter on my channel page. So if people go to Twitch and they go to my channel, they'll see a counter. So if you came in today, a couple of hours ago, let's say 5 hours ago, then you would see that counter and it would be counting down like, oh, in less than 3 hours, he's going live. Right after this broadcast, if you go to my channel, you'll see a counter that's going to be counting to Monday. So that lets people know like, okay, he's coming back. I can check him then. Then if you stream, make sure you also record that footage. So even if it's a couple of short snippets, you can take those, post those on your social, so you can let people who missed your stream know like, hey, I'm live streaming. That's the thing. People need to know, and people don't know. Same thing for me. I have to let people know that I'm doing this, and I have to do that by promoting. I have to do that by being consistent and being there every Monday. So that's a push as well. Like for me, it's every Monday for the mix and every Wednesday for this live stream. And I have to be consistent with that to eventually make that grow. And that's going to take time. That is going to take time. So don't do it just randomly. Find a consistent thing. If that's once a week, it's once a week. Too much more time in between that is probably not going to help you out. So if you're going to stream like once a month, that's not going to cut it. Once every 2 weeks, probably not either. You have to do it more. I know people that I've seen start and grow that grew a little bit faster because they went in and they went for like 5 or 6 days a week. That's going to be a way to actually grow a little bit faster. But even then, it's a slow process. So you cannot come in, do something a couple of times, and expect to grow. That's not going to happen. So if you feel there's something you want to do, go for it and really go for it. Can you scratch with sync? Oh, I saw that already. Supposed to work better with sound switch. The sound switch is for lighting. That's a different thing right there, right? So I'm not sure I understand the question. I still have to test my sound switch. I have the little device, but I have not tested it yet because I don't have lights. So I need to get my hands on a light. I need to find DJ Kane's question. He asked that question and I allowed the question to go into the chat, and now I don't see it anymore. Is there a way or control on a controller with Serato to play a loop or a section of a song at the same time as the rest of the song? For example, mix in the instrumental part of it with the first verse, like blending the same song together. Oh, all right. Let me see if I understand the question. Is there a way to play a loop or a section of a song at the same time as the rest of the song? No, I don't think I understand the question. Because if the song is playing, or are you talking about the for instance, the slip mode feature where the song is continuing to play in the background and you can loop a section, but once you let it go, it returns to where the song would actually be. I don't know. Maybe that's what you mean. Otherwise, I don't understand. Explain the difference between direct drive and belt drive. I already did that, so I'm not sure if this question came before or after. But just real quick, the belt drive and direct drive are just different motors, ways of using a motor in a turntable. So with the belt drive turntables, there's like a belt in there attached to a motor. I mean, I can't explain it like that, but belt drive is not as powerful as a direct drive turntable. So with a direct drive turntable, if the turntable is in the still position and you press start, it will immediately play at the correct speed. So it's direct. With a belt drive turntable, if it's stopped and you press start, it slowly comes in. It needs time to speed up to get to that level because it's not a powerful motor. So if you're mixing or scratching and you want to bring it in and you don't give it enough force, it needs to get up to speed, and that means that you let it go too late. With direct drive turntables, you know, if you're holding it and you let it go, it's playing. So direct drive turntables are definitely the way to go. But I had to learn on belt drive turntables. They work, and you learn how to become more delicate with the way you touch the turntable. But once you get your hands on direct drive turntables after that, you're like, oh, game changer, never going back. So I hope that explains it. Oh, DJ named Vess, your first lesson was with DJ Days. That's my guy. Yeah, man. So did you go to their DJ school, Tussen de Bogen? Because if that's the case, that's like just exaggerate a little bit. That's around the corner from here. That's in the center of Amsterdam as well. But yeah, man, those my guys. I used to work for Days when he had his record store, Soul Food Records. I used to work at Soul Food Records. That's way back. Respect for DJ Lady Style, 100%. She's dope. At least let me say DJ Lady Style. I'm thinking of the same person. I think that's her name. Mix in, what's good? Thanks for the follow. Music genres are everything at weddings. Sometimes it depends on the age demographic. Yeah. You play a lot of different, okay, mostly top 40. TikTok music at weddings for the younger crowd. The cool thing, I mean, TikTok music, the cool thing is, like, a lot of times there could be dope tracks in there and they just get popular on TikTok. So it's not like, I don't know if you mean it that way, but I don't see TikTok music as just like young people music. Sometimes like dope tracks become popular there as well. And if you listen to those tracks, you wouldn't say they were particularly for kids. It's a bit of a misconception, though. I mean, even though a lot of kids are on TikTok, there's a lot of grown folks on TikTok as well, and a lot of grown folks content on TikTok. Not X-rated grown, but I mean, like, not kiddie content. It all depends. Like, the first time I used TikTok, I went on it for like 4 hours straight, and I just liked everything that I like, and I just hit not interested for everything that I'm not interested in. I never ever see like the little kids videos with their little dances anymore. I don't see anything like that. I see like basketball stuff, dope dancers, because you have actual dope dancers on TikTok, some animal stuff, and I don't know, that's basically it. But I mean, I don't see any of that kiddie stuff basically on my TikTok timeline. So it all depends on how you use it. All right, see, that's what I like to see. I see Rob X is also explaining the direct drive story, probably better than I'm explaining it right now. So that's what I love, man. That's what it's all about. That's what Share the Knowledge is all about. Not just about me, but about all of us sharing our things. Like, there's DJs in here that are mobile DJs, wedding DJs. I have almost no experience when it comes to that. So that's something that we can learn from them, because that is something totally different. And I have a lot of respect for mobile DJs, because that takes a lot of work as well. It's totally different than being a club DJ. And a lot of times they can be way more versatile than a club DJ actually is. So it's always dope to learn. All right. Okay. See, oh, here's DJ Kane's message again. An auto mod is still holding it. Why? Okay, I'm going to read it now, Kane, before I allow it. Otherwise, I'll lose it again. Do I have tips or tricks on how you can drop mixes on YouTube without copyrights? Yes, I have the perfect tip for that. Only use your own music. Now, I know that doesn't help you out at all. I understand. Curtis Cozier, Thanks for the follow. So, Kane, look, of course, I'm joking, even though it's true. That's why on DJ TLM TV on YouTube, I've only used my own content in videos, my own beats, because that is the only way to be 100% sure that no one can hit you with a copyright claim. No one can hit my videos there with copyright claims because it's my music. I own the rights to that music. As soon as you start to play with just other people's music, this one's still on? Yeah, it is. As soon as you start to play with other people's music, you are dealing with copyrights. And here's the thing. YouTube nowadays is not the same when it comes to copyright as it was before. So meaning you will get the copyright claim, but if it's only for a couple of tracks, then most likely they will just let you know, like, hey, this and that track have been recognized. There's a copyright claim. You don't have to do anything. And in that case, they'll run ads on your video and they'll monetize your video, meaning that they'll make some money off the views that come in on your video. If that's the only thing that happens, then your video is on YouTube and it can be seen. And that should be the main goal of having a mixed video on YouTube. I mean, no one should want to monetize their mixed videos on YouTube because that makes no sense. You're not using your own stuff. Here's the thing, and I don't know how this works, but for me, with the live mix streams that I've done in the last couple of weeks, that I also live streamed on YouTube, they were blocked. Not during the live stream. The live stream went perfect, but after that, they were blocked. So that could be because I went over a certain limit of time. I went over 2 hours with those mixes, or the amount of copyright claims, because for my last mix, not the mix on Monday, but the mix on, I think it was the workout mix on Saturday, I think I had 51 emails come in right after the mix with copyright claims. The crates mix before that, 56 emails with copyright claims. So maybe that was just too much and that they're like, hey, we can't do this, because they were blocked. I couldn't use them. So I just deleted all of those. But I've seen a lot of accounts that have short mixes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and they're still on. Some have millions of views. So I assume that having a couple of tracks won't hurt you when it comes to that. Let's see. Super Sanchez, what's going on? Yes. What's up with the new PC for DJing? Are you talking about my PC here? This one right here? Because that's not my DJing PC. That's my video editing, music production studio computer. So that's what it's used for. Now, for certain videos that I'm going to do for DJ TLM TV, if I'm talking about software, I will just start the software on the computer, on that computer. But like when I'm doing my live stream here, I'm still using a laptop for the DJ software. So that's still the main thing. All right. Yeah, I agree. Like with what Jazzy Jeff said as well. Jazzy convinced me that the experience you provide when you play and mix music to create a moment for the crowd is what makes you a DJ. This was especially the case because I got into DJing through DJ Hero. Oh, DJ Hero, the video game by Activision. He co-signed and made content for it. Yeah. DJ Hero. I've never played that, you know that? I've always seen that game. I've never played it. Yeah, see, like K-Flow, DJ 6 said the same thing. Like I've DJ'd 10 times on Twitch so far. Still don't get any viewers. So DJ 6, that question is for you then. You've streamed 10 times. Was this in a consistent pattern? So did you go on a steady day, or were these just like random streams on different days at different times? Because I mean, I just gave that advice that I feel consistency is important, and I know it is, but I want to hear how other DJs have been experiencing the same thing. So let me know. Mixmaster G, what's going on? Yeah, man. Let's see. How do y'all get studio quality acapellas of top 40 music and instrumentals? Some DJ pools will have an amount of acapellas and instrumentals, so that could be an option. Beyond that, I'm not sure if it's being sold anywhere. PC for DJing rather than Mac. Both will work just fine. That's the thing. Both will work just fine. For the longest time, Mac has had that reputation for being the quote-unquote industry standard for a lot of things. Part of that is the fact that Mac was always so large in the US and people used to look at America, and if people over there are using it, it must be the thing. But the fact is, like, there's so many Windows laptops that will get that job done for you just as well. So that should never be an issue. Now, you can have a preference for one or the other. With Macs, you know exactly what you get. It works straight out the box. You don't have to do stuff. And I understand the convenience of that, and especially if you get into the Mac ecosystem. And I mean, basically, I'm way into that ecosystem. I mean, they're even here. I mean, it would make sense on one side for me to work with Mac, and I used to work with Mac for a long time until my MacBook Pro died. But especially when I started to look into my studio computer, if you compare what you can get for the amount of money that I spent to build my PC, if you go to the Apple website and you see, okay, what can I get for this money? It's such a big difference. Like, I have so much more value here for my money that I could get from Apple. If I wanted to have something that compares to this on the Apple website, it would probably cost me 2 or 3 times as much. I couldn't afford that. So that's one reason why I didn't go that route. And I still love using both. So no, you can use both. What's that? Okay, got you. Yeah, Massive Soul Food. That's the record store. It was called Soul Food first, and Massive Soul Food. So yes, but that's not that far from here either, though. That's also right here in the center. So PC laptops versus MacBook. Yeah, I mean, and especially now the Windows laptops are even getting better because AMD is slowly getting into the picture, meaning that we're gonna get more bang for our buck with the laptops as well. The last one I saw that on was I think it was the Asus, I forgot now. I think it was like the G14 or something. It was one of the newer laptops. I think it had like a crazy AMD GPU in there, or CPU in there, and also like an NVIDIA RTX like 270 or something for a super dope price, like 1,500 or 1,600 is like ridiculous, like way better priced compared to Macs. But it all depends. Like, it will both do just fine. I've seen a local broadcaster cash out Malaysian. It depends on the gifts you receive. Some high value or lower. Try it. Yeah, but see, that's the thing with, like, if we're talking about Twitch, there's so much to explore. There's so much to explore when it comes to what you can do within Twitch. Now, a lot of the things have to do with overlays that you use, and then you have to be streaming from computers. That's something that I'm not doing right now. So that's why I'm a little bit limited when it comes to what I can add to my stream. But I'm still looking into all of that, learning all of that. Okay, so Mixmaster, that is a message from a while ago that the stream was stuttering on Twitch. I don't know. I could not notice that here, but is it stuttering the whole time, or is it just a temporary thing? Because I have not seen other people really talk about it. Yeah, I've seen those tips too about the copyright on YouTube, like don't use master tempo and try to mix fast. That might help out a little bit, but like if you're not using master tempo, but if you're playing the songs at 0, then the software will still recognize it. And I think if you're playing at +1, it will still recognize it as well. That will probably only work if you're not using master tempo and you play all the songs at like +4 or maybe -2, that it changes the tone so much that the software might not recognize it. Mixing faster, it might help, but I don't think it helps enough. I think the software will still recognize it. Okay, Mixmaster, that's cool. That's nice to know. That is okay now. You got me scared for a second there, bro. All right. Yep, I discussed that already. What's this? I still have a PS3, so I can play parts 1 and 2 of that game. Okay. I still have the PS3 as well. I don't use it now, but it's still here. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. For instance, like Razer Blade, you got the Dell XPS series, the XPS 13 and 15. There's a bunch of brands like with super dope performance laptops for very affordable prices, especially if you compare it to what Mac gives you. And like the MacBooks are still great, and like with the new ones that are coming out with their M1 chip, like I don't know if they're gonna do a price drop, but it all looks good again. But still, those prices are just way higher. Like for instance, the I don't remember exactly, but the cost for my studio PC was probably around 2600 if I'm not mistaken. 2600, something like that. If I look for something around that price, like of course when you look at their desktop computers on Apple, you don't even have to look at the starting price in that area. I believe, I don't remember. See if I can see that real quick. What they offer. So show me Mac. So then we're talking about the Mac Pro. And I want to buy a Mac Pro. Show me. Price. Okay. So the Mac Pro, the tower starting price is how much? $6,000. All right. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that's more than twice what I have here. The starting price for this. I'm not saying I have everything at the top specs, but I'm pretty good over here. This is definitely something something powerful over here. So it all depends on how far you're into components, but like processor wise, this is definitely still a nice processor. It's the Ryzen 9 3900X. So that's a 12 core 24 thread CPU. My GPU is definitely okay for me for my video editing. That's an RTX 2060 Super. Currently have 32 gigs of RAM in there. That's 3600 speed CL16. I'm going to add an extra kit, make that 46. And I got some nice hard drives in there. I got 2 Gen 4 NVMe drives in there and 2 SSD drives in there. And once you start to get into computers and look at components and prices, and then you take a look at a store and you see what they charge for the similar components, when you, for instance, want to do an upgrade in one of these online stores, and you ask for extra memory and you see how much they charge, and then you go to a store and you look at how much that memory would actually cost, you're like, I'm getting ripped off here. Like, it's a crazy difference between that. All right. So yeah, prices for the ARM MacBooks are on par with the current crop. Yeah, the only thing what I saw with the new Macs is also that everything is built into one thing, so you don't have an option to later on change anything. You can only do the you can only change what they have. So you have a couple of options with RAM, but I think everything is built into one, right? So the CPU, GPU, and RAM is all built into one single thing. That's the thing with PCs as well. Every part can be switched, swapped. So I might even go for one of the new AMD CPUs at a certain point and use this one for one of my kids' PCs when they start to get theirs. Cleveland Terry just told all DJs to not buy the new MacBook with the M1 in it. Didn't give a reason. Okay. Well, especially when something is brand new like that, a totally new system for a computer, I would probably not be the first to jump in and buy that brand new thing. I would probably wait and see how that works out, because a lot of times with new systems, there will be some issues in the beginning. Yeah, I agree, Mixmaster. A lot of times they're not really user upgradable, the Macs. That is the thing. Now, I think with the last Mac Pro and with the iMac Pro, I believe you could change a couple things, but beyond that, most of the times you really can't. Yeah. Yeah, man. FTR, like you said, you bought a refurbed Acer for $300 and it worked perfectly for DJing. That's the thing. If you're just DJing, you don't need to have something that is like ridiculously powerful. That's the thing. Like I'm using this for video editing, music production. Then you want some more power. But if it's just the DJ software and you take a look at what the minimum specifications are, a lot of times you don't need to have like a crazy powerful processor, not that much memory. So then you can actually do it pretty cheap. Now, as soon as you decide like, hey, okay, I also want to be able to like edit some music and do some extra stuff, most of the times you probably need a little bit more. But if it's just that, yes. Let's see. Yeah, that's also one thing why you might not want to go for the newest straight away, because indeed software companies do have to a lot of times still adjust before they have their software ready for new stuff. Same thing when new operating systems come out for computers. A lot of times brands will warn you like, don't upgrade yet because your software will not work anymore. And that happens. So a lot of times you have to check that the software brands you use for production or DJing are ready for a new operating system before you upgrade your operating system. You don't want to be in a situation where your computer all of a sudden can't run your DJ software anymore. What else? Get your RAM either in 2 or 4 times configurations. Don't do 3 sticks. Yeah, who would do 3 sticks? Did anyone say that? No. So I currently, for speaking for myself, I have just a two stick kit in there right now, and I can have 4 in there. So I have 32 gigs in there now. I'm gonna get the exact same kit, get 2 more, and then I'm full. But then I'm at 64 gigs, and that's yeah, that's definitely more than enough. When I bought the kit, it was 170. I saw it a couple of weeks ago, and it was like 210. So those prices fluctuate as well. So I'll definitely just keep my eyes on that and wait for the price to be at a nice point, or I have to run into some crazy Black Friday deal for a certain upgrade. But yeah. Love my MacBook Pro, going strong for 7 years. Hate had to upgrade the RAM. Storage is insane. Yeah. I mean, I had a lot of fun with my MacBook Pro, and it died like almost completely. I have it to a working point where I can use it to browse the internet. And then still every now and then it will shut off, and it will take me like 20 times to get it up again. So most likely I could get it to work again if I change out multiple parts. But then again, we're talking about a pretty old MacBook Pro, and I don't think that investment is worth it to spend maybe, I don't know, $500, $600, $700 on parts for a computer that's already pretty old So within now and a couple of years, most likely it won't be able to run the newer software anymore. So I don't think I would do something like that. So for now, I use it for browsing sometimes. Maybe do some Evernote edits on texts that I'm working on, but that's basically it. We don't have good Black Friday deals in the Netherlands. I totally agree. Like that's something like Black Friday is not ours. And now you see, I saw it last year. Like stores in the Netherlands, all of a sudden were offering Black Friday deals, but they were offering that deal for like the entire week. So it was all of a sudden a Friday week. And then you take a look, and they have like 10%, 20%, or sometimes maybe a 30% discount. You're like, that's not what a Black Friday deal is. If you take a look at how those real Black Friday deals were, there's a reason why people were just like bum rushing a store and stabbing each other over the last box, because the discounts were that crazy. So, nah, I do like to take a look at the Cyber Monday deals a lot of times for software, because then it doesn't matter where you're from and you can find some dope deals. If Amazon has some nice deals, I'm cool with that too, because my Prime account, even when I order from the US, it's pretty dope. It arrives fast, and I have to check if there's not a lot of extra cost for importing it. I'll buy some stuff there. All right, K-Flow, you're probably gone now, but a good night to you. It's very late, as I can see. So yeah, man, just email me. Uh, uh, uh. Okay, so I didn't even check that because I'm not on Mac at the moment. So, but Serato still not supporting Big Sur? Okay. Yeah, that's the tricky thing, man. It is. Kelly Kell, salute. You're probably gone already too. You got to get ready for work. So definitely see you next time. Uh-huh. See, we got Mixmaster in here. You know, I know you know the tech stuff, bro. Let me switch the beat real fast. I don't know. You probably hardly hear that, but I hear it in the background. I like having just that little background sound in here instead of having like total silence, but it is definitely not playing very loud. Hey, where's my restream? Yeah, that's Twitch. There you go. Okay. I'm gonna see if there's anything more. I'm gonna stream all the way down. Okay, I'm actually pretty close. Yeah, and 30% on the most useless stuff. Indeed. So no, our Black Friday deals are not that interesting. See, I haven't checked. I mean, Mixmaster will probably know the answer. I haven't really checked that. So the Rosetta protocol to run emulations of software until the developers make them universal. If that works, it's pretty dope, but I haven't really looked into that. So I'll let Mixmaster deal with that one. Serato in simulation mode. Who knows? Yeah. Yeah, indeed. It'll take probably a couple of months before it's ready for that. I thought it was out already. My bad. See, that's what happens when you're not in the Apple ecosystem computer-wise anymore, and then you miss out on what happens with that. Okay. Sorry I missed that out. DJ Invisible, DJ Mix and Mel, DJ Deep Ash, and DJ Shanes. Thanks for the follows. Salute to y'all. I need to keep my eyes on that activity feed a lot more. All right, look, there's something I wanted to do. What was it? No, FDR, I saw you were asking Mixmaster. I just jumped into the question as well. All right, let me see. I wanted to do one more thing. I just talked about that. I downloaded it, so I should have it here. Oh, wait, how am I going to do this? Because I have to hear the file myself as well. Let me think. So I wanted to show you guys that EQ thing on my mixes for a second. How can I do that? Let me think. I should actually do that. here. All right, guys, give me a second. No, that's not gonna work for now. All right, I want to figure out how I'm gonna do that next time. To bring in some of my live stream footage, so I can show you a couple of things that I wanted to that I did with the EQ. I mean, I can bring the footage in now, but without the audio, that doesn't really help. So next time I'll make sure that I can bring in the video footage with audio, so we can go over a couple of the mixes in there. So y'all getting probably in some heavy nerdy tech talk right now. Let me see, did I miss anything? Yeah, I actually made a Discord. I have to see if that's actually gonna be a thing. And Reddit, you know, I've never really gotten into Reddit, even though I think you can probably see a lot of dope things on there. It's something I probably have to take a little bit of time for to actually get into. Mixing was good. I learned a lot. Basics from the YouTube channel. Yes. Oh yeah, definitely true. I'm definitely I actually don't know how much it is now. So my weight is definitely up, and that's also a dope thing about just being on screen. Hold up. Is it on? Yeah. To being on screen, people get to see the different phases. So see me now. Talk to me again. Let's because I've gained, and now I have to change the shape a little bit. And yeah, I'm actually getting into that right now, and I'm looking forward to that because I'm not feeling the most comfortable in the current shape I'm in. Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people that are definitely into Discord, and I actually took a look at it, I think a couple of years ago, and then I kind of lost it, and now I've made the Discord, so we'll see what happens. If I find out that a lot of us like to have conversations there, then it's actually going to be a dope thing. Yeah, the vlogs were a pretty long time ago. That was also like something to try out, but it's it takes up a lot of time. Like, first off, just documenting every day, but then you got to do edits and have it online as well. And it was too much for me to have that in there as well. So I kind of let that go after a while. I might bring it back in certain shapes and forms, but I'd rather have something back that has more to do with gigs. And that, of course, right now is not an option at all. I did make a video. I did shoot some footage about the setup I used during the tour we did, but I'll have to edit that. But beyond that, like, yeah, or it would have to be more on the live streaming type of tip that you actually vlog while you stream, because the editing, that's what takes up so much time when it comes to creating content. So especially with vlogs, because you don't want to go and post everything, you have to edit before you let it out. And if you already have different videos as well, yeah, nah, that took up a lot. All right, let's see how we can just do this and get rid of this. See in here, no, I don't want to reply. How can I should have my moderating features here. Yeah, ban this dude. Exactly. That's exactly what I was looking at. Because we don't need that in here. But right now it's only giving me the option to reply. I don't want to reply. Yeah, I'll fix that. W, you're not still in here, right? Because you might even see something in your options that I don't have. Yeah, I don't see them pop up a lot, but yeah, I have one mod right now at the moment. If others are interested, you can definitely hit me up. Hit me up on the email, tlm@djtlm.com, because I'm definitely open for that. Like, I didn't think I would need it in the beginning since everything is still pretty small. So I have W, who is already there. There we go. Yeah. So W, you probably see options when you watch the screen where you can actually delete stuff. Somehow I can't do that here. I can only see it and hit reply. Maybe that's because I'm in the stream manager. I don't know. See, that's the thing. You have to learn new stuff when anytime you do new stuff. So the Twitch stuff is still pretty new to me, even though I have my account for ages, and everything is new. How the community works, having the moderators, being able to mod myself. So there's probably something I can click here that would allow me to do that. Okay, here's the chat settings. Maybe I can do something about that here then. Show moderator actions. No, I don't see it yet, but should be something in here that could make me do that. There you go. I had to put the mod icons on. Got you. Because it's still pretty quiet in here, so it's not that necessary to have people in here, because now I can just say ban, done. There was one earlier that I saw and I just kind of neglected to look at it more, but I got him now. So yeah, that's all good. If anyone else wants to yeah, Mixmaster, I know that should have been active now as well. The chats going to all platforms. The Restream bot was doing that, and I noticed that it wasn't doing it now. Even though I saw some people who were commenting that they were on Periscope and other places. So I don't know if I'm seeing all of the messages here today, or if I'm missing my people on YouTube. But I would prefer people to come to Twitch for these live streams over the rest. Oh, okay, I missed this one. What's that? I mostly go live on Bigo and Miko, but that's probably in Asia, right? Or those are Asian streaming services, I guess. At least 80 viewers for a rookie streamer. That's pretty cool. On Miko, I get about 550 viewers. Nice. That's dope. I've never heard of these services, so that might be because you were in South Asia, like you said, that might be what it is. Never saw those before. I don't know why it took me all the way up to the chat again, but we're good. Oh wow, I didn't even realize the time. Okay, cool. So yeah, I'm about to be out as well because I actually still have work to do. I didn't even look at the clock. We've been at it for close to 3 hours now. So to all my peoples on all of the platforms, I want to thank you for tuning in, and I'll be here every Wednesday doing this Share the Knowledge live stream, and every Monday with the mixed live stream, my crates live stream, and every now and then, I don't know if that's going to be a consistent thing or when I have that extra hype, I'll do that the drop set workout motivation live stream. But I want to make sure that I don't go overboard straight away, and I'll stick to 2: 1 mix, 1 talk, 1 chat, to be consistent. And whenever I have some extra time, do some extra streams as well. You might see me pop up on Twitch out of nowhere when I'm testing a new plugin or doing something else. But yeah, this is it for now for the steady ones. RIP Mo 3, another rapper killed in Dallas in broad daylight. Rest in peace. It's a shame anytime anyone passes in any way. And once again, DJ Spin Bad. Rest in peace. That's how I'm going to end this today. Thank you for your support. Thank you for the follows, the subscriptions. Check me out on DJ TLM TV on YouTube pretty soon with a lot of new dope stuff. And check me out on IG, DJ TLM. I'm DJ TLM everywhere. So check me out and follow me in all those places to stay in tune, in touch, and all of that. All right, cheeks, get clapped. Thanks for the follow. See you next time. Love.